Tell you one good thing to come out of this, Brandon Lynch.
What?
The Talking Reckless podcast. What I have described as, and I've heard Andy describe as, a little bit of bubbly, the little bit of bubbly of video game podcast, the champagne of podcasts.
Yes, the little bit of lime after the tequila that was your day.
That's right. I don't know where I'm going with this, so I'm just going to keep...
booze.
Have you guys
Stick
seen
with booze.
the French? What's Orson Welles? Very drunk there doing
1984.
Doing the champagne commercial.
Oh, fuck, I don't know what you're talking about.
Great. My name's Matt Eads. Welcome to Talking Reckless Podcast. I'm joined by Andy Captain.
Hey!
Hey, he's wearing his Captain tank top. We were talking about that a little earlier.
Yeah.
He's got his name. I don't have any shirts with my name on them.
No.
It's Captain.
Bunch of bullshit.
I have a Lynch shirt, but I've stopped wearing it recently.
Oh, that one's in the closet for a while. Just let it cool off. Brandon Lynch is here as well.
Yes, that's me. I made the Lynch joke.
That's right.
That was me.
Welcome.
My name's Lynch.
Welcome back to the show. Announcement at the top. If you haven't yet voted, I got no camera this week to look at.
I like how you're doing it automatically too.
Yeah, the
Here,
power.
we're
you can still
staring
look
for
at
you.
it.
The power went out in the studio here, so I'll still look and gesture to this camera that isn't actually working this week. But if you haven't yet voted on our Patreon poll, go over to patreon.com/talkingrecklesspodcast, vote on the poll. It'll be open for maybe one more week. We see some pretty clear results. The people demand Shenmue. The people demand Shenmue.
Fuck.
And specifically Andy Shamrock.
Specifically Andy.
I get to pick the next game we play.
Okay.
Well, that's
deal.
the people. The people pick
Deal. Yes.
So I get to pick a couple games that the people can pick.
We'll be 45 years old and probably dead when we're done Shenmue.
Fuck that. I'm blasting through that game. I'm
2
going
days.
to just cruise. We're doing that
move at
one,
the pace Shenmue wants you to
one
move at.
sitting. We are
sprint.
blasting through that game. Oh, yeah.
That forklift's only got one speed.
I'm getting the sprint mod. Put gears on that bitch.
It's gonna be. Do you guys think I should look up a guide or like I think, we've talked about it so much? It seems like we might actually play Shenmue at this point.
I think that if we are going to do it, that'll kind of be, if I'm the one playing through it, you'll be the one to sit there and kind of moderate and be like, okay, I think we need to fucking look something up here. And
Let's go do the fucking forklift thing again. I don't know. We probably need to do the forklifts again.
Yeah, you probably didn't do the forklift thing right.
Let's go do the
differently.
forklift again.
Okay, that's what we'll do. I already got a head start on what to expect.
God, go vote on our Patreon poll.
You can stop this.
You can stop this. Yeah, we'll leave it up to a vote. You know, patrons will get to vote on the games.
I set up a bunch of bots to downvote it just constantly. Like I have like 5 computers set up at home, and they're all just downvoting the Shenmue thing.
There's not a doubt in my mind that you don't know how to do that.
I hired a kid.
I'm a hacker. I was at home hacking.
Yeah.
Video games, gentlemen.
Yes.
How's your week's been?
Yes, let's not talk about video
Let's not talk
games,
about video
of which
games.
I've played none.
Let's talk about television. Television, so excellent.
Sure.
Oh,
What television would you like to talk? I've finished Umbrella Academy season 2.
Wow, what a fun show.
Not today, yesterday. I finished the first 7 episodes of Dark.
Oh fuck! So you're in.
I'm going.
You're fucking.
I'm fucking going.
It.
My one episode I was gonna watch last night after we played video games turned into 4 episodes.
Oh dear. Yeah, that show is wild.
Yeah,
that show is
Dark,
truly wild.
It's weird, and we will not talk too much about the show because first of all, Annie doesn't know fuck all about it, and second of all, I don't want to spoil anything. I don't want people to go watch Dark.
It's very much joy discovery in that show.
Yes, but as more of a like the way it came upon me, there was a time a month ago where I had never even heard of this show that apparently had 3 seasons, and then one day Netflix is just like beating me over the head with it, where it's like, why the fuck are you watching Dark? And I'm like, excuse me, I'm trying to go to my watch list, and it's just like, you should watch Dark. Why don't you start watching Dark? So I'm like, okay, fine, I'll put you on my watch list just so you leave me alone. And then all of a sudden Matt Eads comes in being like, you should watch Dark.
Yeah, fuck, anybody else watching this time travel? This thing's wild.
So then I fucking started watching Dark, and Dark is wild.
It's wild, man. What a time to be alive.
We talked about, so we watched, we both recently also watched Umbrella Academy, and what I was texting you, and I love Umbrella Academy. Don't take this as a slight on Umbrella Academy. It's a fucking great show. Everyone should watch that too. But I was texting you as 2 time travel enthusiasts,
of course,
being like, I don't know that the time travel in Umbrella Academy really passes the smell test, and the time travel in Dark seems like it's fucking like someone spent 10 years thinking about the concept of time travel and building a good show around it.
It's very wild. Hard to talk about, but
yes,
very good.
You should watch them both.
You should watch them both. Umbrella Academy is so fun. I don't think I've ever watched a show that gave less of a fuck. Like, there are some episodes of that show that you're just like
the music they pick and the like, just like over the top, like dumb action, and the not really giving a fuck about the time travel or the.
Nothing. Like the sanctity of their world or their characters or anything.
They're like, this is just going to be fun. Every episode is going to be fun. If our story gets in the way of that, then let the fun barrel over the story.
Yeah, it'll work itself out, probably.
Yeah.
This sounds like another program that we all really enjoy, that we do a podcast every now and then on, that also uses that same mindset. Maybe to the biggest extreme of fuck the story. We just need this to be fun.
It's true. This one, well, no, you're right. I was going to say this one's not so much like the plot doesn't hold up. Like they don't follow their rules, because you're right. They do actually get to some points where it's like, it doesn't seem like you're following your rules anymore.
And they totally, like Dragon Ball Z, they're like, wait, aren't these rules different? They're like, yeah, I guess. We changed them.
And then someone like acknowledges like, that's not how we were led to believe it. I'm moving on. And then you move on.
Like, I guess you were wrong. All right, let's go.
Yeah, we've learned new information. Okie dokie.
The selection for the movie in Umbrella Academy is so fucking good because it's very random, but it's from like they're bangers from very different points in time. Like they're
the music, sorry?
In Umbrella Academy.
Yeah,
like you will know every single song that plays. You'll be like, oh, that is a huge song. Even if you don't know it by name, you're like, oh yeah, I've heard the song in a million things, whether it's a commercial or something. Like these are songs that have stood the test of time, and every time one of them pops up, and it's usually during a fight scene, I'm just fucking like wall-to-wall grin on my face at how stupid the whole thing is.
That sounds up my alley.
Yeah, it's very good. It's our kind of stupid. I'm way into it.
Yeah.
Good. And then I can hop into the super serious dark.
Yeah, it is. Dark is super serious.
Dark is very serious.
Dark is. I'm in season 3 where like, man, what even? Boy, to go back to the naivete that I had in season 1 when I thought I understood time travel somewhat.
Fuck.
That's what I was like a shoe dropped in like episode 5.
Yeah.
Where like the time travel, like you know about the time travel from episode 1.
You don't really know like how it works,
right?
Though. You're like,
you just know, you're like,
okay,
they're clearly doing stuff with time here.
Yeah. Well,
And a shoe drops where you're like, where there's a kind of a concrete connection between the times that you're in. And I had a moment where I was like, oh, wow, that's like a thing that I feel like you would end a show, like a series on. Like that's like the big reveal for the end of Dark, except for it's only 5 episodes into the first season, and apparently there's 3 seasons.
That's dope.
yeah, it's very good.
I think I want to watch that now before Umbrella Academy.
They're very different shows. One,
Yeah.
Umbrella Academy's
But good.
so fun. Dark, kind of exhausting, and like it's it's kind of a murder mystery in the beginning. It's a little harrowing.
It's been a long
sometimes.
time since I've watched a show that's kind of exhausted in that sense. I've been watching such like garbage bullshit that I think it's time for me to dive into something a little more meaty. I think the last thing the last series I watched that was kind of intense would have been Game of Thrones. That was like the last one I committed myself to.
Yeah.
And then was very heartbroken, and then just haven't had the strength to jump back into something else. So
It's hard to love again once you've been hurt that bad.
yeah, so I think we're starting. It is true. Holy crap.
And that might be the same for me. I don't know if I've watched like a episodic no nonsense drama since then. I'm trying to think of.
Well, let's not call Game of Thrones no nonsense anymore.
Well,
it definitely does not hold that title.
No, you're right. But like you could almost call Umbrella Academy a drama, but it feels like more of a comedy than a drama. It's
It's just fun.
action drama.
Yeah, just
An
a fun
action
show,
drama,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. Which I still want that too, but I'm very intrigued by this dark nonsense.
Yeah. No, Dark's neat.
Yeah.
Dark's the one where you'll like I'm torn at the end of every episode between wanting to go on the internet and think about what I just saw, but
Don't
I
ever do
also
it.
won't do it
No.
because
Yeah,
I'm
you
like
have
there's too many episodes out
Yeah,
there.
you have to let it unfold.
There was a couple. I had a few spots like that where I sort of lost the thread, and I was gonna look up like, wait, what the fucking how and why is this happening?
Yeah.
And but then every single time like that happened to me twice, and then you are informed later. Like,
Right, yeah.
we didn't. I didn't actually know what was happening yet. Okay.
Yeah, the exact same. I'm not gonna. I can't get into
It's hard.
it.
It's
Yeah.
hard. All right. Well, any other things you've been watching? You want to talk about the viewings?
Me and Andy watched The Greatest Showman.
Oh yeah, we watched that the other night.
What's The Greatest Showman?
It's that Hugh Jackman musical about the circus.
It's a hell of a movie.
The one where he sings Nirvana on the
No.
pirate ship.
But I told you about that and never showed you like I was planning on it.
Oh, right, I forgot about that. Yeah.
We were. I was like, I have something I have to show you after this movie.
Yeah,
and I never did because we were hammered and watched Taylor Swift and went to bed.
Yeah, as we do.
Yeah.
Again, or is this the
No, it's a
different
different one.
one.
I just pulled one up on YouTube and we watched it for a bit and then went to
As is tradition, the Taylor Swift concert before.
before bedtime.
Before bedtime,
Just watch some Taylor Swift.
Usually when you're
and
just too fucking drunk to function anymore and
Yeah.
like watch anything with any sort of story.
Well, and we're talking, we're like, well, what are we going to watch now? Like, I didn't want to go to bed yet, and we threw some stuff out
Yeah.
there, and then I just, as we were talking, I just fucking...
I'm sure I said,
pulled up
let's-
Taylor Swift, tossed it on the TV.
At like 1 a.m. when we're hammered, I'm like, we should watch The Prestige now. Another
it's
huge
time.
Aspen
You
classic.
did say that, yeah. And I was like, and I think as you're saying that, I was like, oh yeah? As I'm like fucking doing my own thing. Like, no, that's not happening. I have other plans for us.
You've never seen that movie.
No, I haven't, but I'm going to watch that too, though. I got a lot of time over the next couple of days, so watching The Prestige and getting into one of these other shows that you
Hell yes.
guys are talking about, so.
Prestige. You've seen Prestige?
Oh, yeah.
It's a fucking banger.
Yeah, I was like obsessed with it when it came
Yeah,
out.
me too.
Big fan.
It might be my favorite Chris Nolan movie.
It's very good.
The only other contender is The Dark Knight.
It's my favorite David Bowie movie.
It's my favorite David Bowie movie too.
Man, it's Labyrinth is pretty good.
I've never seen it.
It's not that
Might
good.
be the only
It's
David
not- it's
Bowie
not-
movie I've ever seen.
Yeah.
You just watch The Greatest Showman, Eads. I might put you in a good mood.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's on Disney Plus. Just went on.
Just went on Disney Plus. It was funny because
Very uplifting.
we rented it, and then I think the day after,
Yeah.
Brando told his mom to go get it and watch it, and then literally the day after, it's on Disney Plus.
Oh.
So they got $10 from us before it hit Disney Plus.
Sons of bitches.
Yeah.
But that's
It's
good.
I still gotta watch,
It's the kind of thing where it's like if you like musicals, I think it's a very, very good
Do like musicals.
one of those. And
Yeah,
but
it's-
then there's some people who are just like, I don't like musicals.
Yeah.
You know,
So-
I liked me some musicals.
well, if you like musicals, you really like this.
And
The
it's-
music is top notch. It's so good.
And it's very modern. Like it's a old story. It's a classic story. It's like the origins of the Barnum family circus.
Is Robin a member of that, the Flying Barnums?
No, I think that's the Graysons.
Oh, right, of course, of course.
Dick Barnum.
It's the Nolan Crutz, the DCU.
The crossover.
That's right.
It's like kind of it's like a much more historical setting, but it is very modern sounding music. So it's not like watching Les
Yeah,
Mis
modern
or
songs.
something. Yeah.
Yeah. And like they did, it's cool too. So I told Brando, I was like, after we watch this movie, drunk as hell too, right? After we watch this movie, you gotta go listen to the album. It's so good that like they did a bunch of remakes with like modern artists and stuff, and
Zach
like
Brown and Pink and
yeah, like it was one of the first musicals I watched where like I would, and even after we watched it the other night, I was throwing the tunes on again in the car. I was like, "There's fucking good tunes here."
it's great to get hammered watching a movie with someone who likes the movie because all of a sudden, like Andy had already seen it, I had never seen it when we watched it, and then you just come out of that movie being like, is this the greatest movie that's ever been made? Maybe it's the greatest movie that's ever been made. And then you like wake up hungover the next day and you're like, that's a pretty good movie.
We're pretty drunk. That was all right.
Yeah, it was a good movie. But no, it is a good film, so I'd recommend it if you're into musicals. Definitely gotta watch that one.
Is Hamilton? Is that the right name? Hamilton?
Yes.
That's a musical?
I believe so, but
Yeah,
it's
that's-
also it's like it's the filming of a play,
Yeah, that's
Oh.
the actual
so it's very
play.
different.
So
yeah,
yeah.
they set cameras up for the actual stage.
Yeah, I've
production.
heard good things about all that. I got a lot of shit to watch.
Me too.
A lot of shit to watch.
And every time I like put a good I'll put a good dent in my Netflix watch list. I'll be like, fuck, I got like through 40% of this today, and I'll be like, oh yeah, I got like 3 other big watch lists on like Amazon Prime, Disney Plus,
Yeah.
and Crave.
And all this Dragon Ball just sitting
And
over
the
it.
Dragon
New
Ball.
episode of Super Saiyan Pod Super Saiyan coming this week to the public feed, by the way.
Oh, I thought you were saying that we're recording one. I'm like, I'm not ready.
Out now on
No, no.
Patreon.
Nope.
Yeah, we're still mourning the death of Kiss Anime.
Yeah, that's too bad.
May it rest in peace.
Way it goes.
Young Matt Eads, not even that young. Adult Matt Eads watched quite a bit of anime on Kiss Anime over the years. Most of it Dragon Ball Z.
There'll be something else out there.
There always is.
Yeah,
Someone's
you would-
always ready. The
you would
bots
think.
are at working.
Yep.
Video games, gentlemen. You want to talk about a few of those?
Yeah, I guess we can dive in.
Delayed this as long
I
as
have a couple
can.
thoughts on a couple that you have.
Yeah?
By your name here, Eads. I've played one of them, never heard about another one, and still have absolutely no interest in playing another one of them. So I'm curious to hear what you have to say.
I played the Avengers beta.
Okay,
That
I'm
was
gonna
up
guess.
this week.
Is that the one you have no interest in playing?
Yes, 10 points to Brando.
Okay.
I'm the opposite, in which I even talked to you in the chat about this. there's maybe nothing that you could say to me about the quality of this game that would stop me from buying it. I'm not saying I wouldn't like believe you.
You bought Monster Hunter. I'm with you.
Yeah, and I bought
Not
Ultimate
afraid.
Alliance. I bought Ultimate Alliance 3, another Marvel
Sure
property,
did.
where I was like, hey, who wants to get in on this? And everyone's like, yeah, I'm probably not going to do that. I'm like, okay, I'm going to get it, and then you all change your mind at some
They'll
point.
follow.
Well, and I talked about this with Eads. The reason I didn't jump on it was because I was worried about the internet. Because I was like, if the internet's disconnected whenever we try to play Mario Kart, how am I going to play Marvel Ultimate Alliance? It's just going to fuck over.
Getting any game on the Switch to play online is a fool's errand.
bad idea.
Yeah, I mean, you could come over, like we could do it now, where you could come over and we could play it
That's
because
true.
we can just connect
Also,
the switches right there in the same place.
It's like Diablo. Like, you can fucking play that game with probably a fucking 900 ping and
Yeah.
stumble your way through it, but...
Well, the new Marvel's Avengers is kind of in some other ways like Diablo. It's weird. It is so it's a third-person action game.
Okay.
It's like God of War. It's a lot like God of War. Ms. Marvel might as well be Kratos. Like, has her big hands are like the blades of chaos in a way. I'm like, fucking A.
Sold.
And you're doing some square triangle.
I have also changed my mind.
But it is a boy. How even to
Where to start?
four people to a team.
Okay.
If you don't have players, it's AI.
Okay, so
always,
there's always going to be four people.
Yeah,
Okay.
except it seems like there's some story missions, some single player missions that you might do by yourself.
Right. These 4-player missions are not story missions, or
Some of them are.
Some of them are.
Yep,
Okay.
some of them seem to be.
I'm
But
with
then
you.
it seems that there is stuff that you'll have like because there's like QuickTime events and stuff that wouldn't make sense in a multiplayer setting. So I think for some of the big story moments, you might go into a mission where you play as like a bunch of different heroes, maybe. But from the common loop seems to be you get to the mission table, you get to the kind of the hub where you are choosing from a big board, very much like Destiny. The Mike's OGs, not.
This is the first sip of Mike's OG. took me for a little ride.
Oh, did it? Mike's OG. Yeah, I missed that. I'm sad now. I'm gonna have to go back and watch the replay on that. It catches you off guard in the first one, but after that sipping it, it's really good.
Rarely. Brando's a man. I've seen Brando drink like literally anything and never grimaced
Well,
before.
It wasn't so much like alcohol content. Like, it seems like it's not like it's improperly mixed. It was just like, oh, that's not what I thought that was going to taste like at all.
And as I'll drink like the neutrals and stuff, and even like White Claw. Like I kind of expected it to be along the lines of White Claw.
Yeah.
It's weird. Like
Yeah,
it gives you.
It is weird. It's not like White Claw. Maybe
Yeah.
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, but
Sorry,
they're
it's-
good though. Yeah. Also, we should point out that the Mike's OG is not Mike's OG. It's Mike's 0 grams.
0 grams.
But I called
Very
it OG.
funny.
Now
and
it's Mike's OG
That's
now.
what it is now. Yeah.
Yes.
You're choosing missions from a hub. The missions all seem pretty samey in a way.
When you say a hub, is it like a menu or like a
map.
hub world?
It's a globe,
Okay.
and you are choosing. It's a globe, and it's broken out into districts, like the Pacific Northwest. You go to Pacific Northwest. There are 6 missions to do in there. Pretty much everyone that I did was run through a place and either just fight some dudes, go to a place, fight some dudes, or go to a place, stand on a point and fight some dudes. Like, so you are a timer is ticking
Right.
up or a progress meter.
Protect the king of the zone.
Totally, yeah, king of the zone. That's what they call it. And then you're getting loots. There is 4 or 5 different loot
Tiers.
spots. I'm not sure how many tiers there are, but 4 or 5 different like equipables for each hero. They just have power numbers associated with them. You have a power number that goes up, like in Destiny. Enemies have levels above their heads, and you have a level above your head. Like numbers are flying out of your fists when you hit them.
Are we talking like, say for example, some wrist rockets or shoulder rockets or some shit from Iron Man? Is it like, does those wrist rockets have a bunch of stats and then an overall power level, or is it just like one number?
It'll have there are stats,
Okay.
but it seemed like there were 4 stats. They were just all called weird things, but it was like, oh, this is my health stat. Oh, this is my damage stat. Oh,
Okay,
this
so
is my whatever stat.
I think what you're saying is the specific weapons themselves don't have stats on them.
Some of them do. Some of them are
okay.
like,
Yeah, I was kind of trying to figure out is like, do I just look at which the bigger number is and put it on automatically, or do I be like, well, I should keep this because I might need more DPS.
Yeah,
even though my defense isn't as good.
it is kind of one of those situations where you're choosing like this might have 9 power, but it gives me plus 3 to my damage stat or plus 3 to my
So I will
life
keep
stat or
several
whatever.
of these in my inventory and swap them out as.
Yeah, maybe that's one of the things they build in, or like hit you over the head with off the beginning is like one of the first missions you do has ice hazards or whatever. It's like you might want to bring, if you have cold resist gear, bring your cold resist gear. Put on all your cold resist armor because there's gonna be cold enemies on this one. So it seems like you will be doing a bit of gear swapping and choosing. Every hero has 3 abilities: one on the left trigger, one on the right trigger, or bumpers, and then one for both.
Okay.
I don't know if you can change them. So I'm not clear what was open in the beta. They refer to like primary skill trees in a way that implies there are secondary skill trees, but they didn't seem to be in the beta.
Okay.
So I don't know if you can change those or not, but they're like
Is the double bumper like an ult?
yeah, like Iron Man's is he calls him the Hulkbuster, and anyone can get in the Hulkbuster, which is super cool.
Oh,
That's
neat.
actually really neat. Can the Hulk get in the Hulk
I
Buster?
don't know. I don't think so.
Okay, because that'd be stupid.
How can a just random civilian who's in danger hop in there?
I don't think so. I think it has to be one of the heroes. But I was playing as Black Widow, and I got in the Hulkbuster, and I was like, oh fuck, this is kind of dope.
That's fun.
Hulk's is like a big thunderclap that knocks everybody down.
Sure. Has been since PS1.
Yeah, it is the famous
the same
clap
thing.
attack.
Yeah.
Yep.
Trying to Black Widow's is like she gets a staff and hits like area damage with her attacks and things.
Sure. Like the Lady Fox in Star Fox Adventure.
Just like that's right, Star Fox Adventure.
Crystal, I believe is her name.
It's with a K. That's right. Like a stripper.
Got a poster in my room.
Oh,
It's on my roof.
She's got a big cock though.
stop it.
It's a 3D poster.
It's so you're the
I hang
comment.
my hat on it at the end of every day. Stop
Holds
it.
a lot of hats. Stop it.
We're learning a lot about Andy's kinks here. Enemies kind of there is weight to the combat, so there's kind of an active dodge system like in God of War and stuff. It doesn't feel great, but it doesn't feel terrible. But it feels better than I thought it would, especially with 4 people all playing at the same time. Like you were very much like in God of War, you can juggle enemies up and like, oh, that one's about to do an attack. Well, I can punch him in the air and stop that attack, and there is a bit of depth to it. And actually, like it's going to be a great. I'm not thinking we're just killing dudes and talking game.
Yeah.
And the number is going up.
Best games.
I enjoyed
Yeah.
it a lot more than I thought I was going to be honest. Like it played way better than I thought it would. A huge part of that is I sort of realized I really love the Marvel. I really love the Avengers stuff specifically.
Yeah.
Where it kind of clicked for me in a way where I was playing as Iron Man and like I had too many guys and I'm like, oh fuck, I might die. And then Hulk just came and was like, and like threw a dude away. And Black Widow came in and like did her weird like flipped around the dude and choked him out thing.
Yeah.
Almost like just like in the movie. Like a lot of those animations are right out of the movies.
I was going to
too.
ask, was that a cinematic moment or was that like
It was just
in the gameplay?
Just in gameplay.
That's fun.
But because so many of their combos are straight out of the films, like Iron Man does the like choo 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 and then the spin around one, and like they all have
that's pretty
the
cool.
Hulkbuster looks like it does in the film and moves like it does. It looks like the movies enough that when that happened and Hulk came in and saved him, I'm like, fuck, this is just like the film. This is dope.
That's neat.
And I think that was a piece of the magic that hearing about this game, I was like, it has to have that for me. Otherwise, I won't be interested. Like, it has to be able to capture that, not like a cinematic cutscene where they're trying to fire you up with that. Like, they just need to happen in the game when you're fighting guys. Like, you have to have those moments where you're like, oh no, I'm fucked. And then just all of a sudden, like you said, Hulk just comes roaring out of nowhere and then just fucks everybody's day. And it's like, yeah, fucking right. So I'm an Avenger.
So this is not cross-platform.
Not cross-platform.
So we're gonna have to make a call.
Yeah. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, we're gonna play it on Xbox or not play it together.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yes.
That
is the call.
I mean, I will, because it's coming to the next generation of consoles, right? So,
Yeah, it will.
Yeah, so I mean,
I'm not buying another Xbox. Halo's no one's buying another Xbox.
well, I'll
I'm
just play it
being
on
a
PC.
PS5.
Maybe eventually.
yeah, I'm also.
But we
planning-
can't. PC and Xbox will not. It's
PC
not a
and
first
Xbox
party game. They won't. It's not a Microsoft first party. They won't.
Halo
cross-play.
won't be on PC.
Oh, Halo will.
Yeah, but
Avengers
you will not be able
will
to play PC with Xbox people
Oh, that's not
for
happening?
Avengers. No cross.
Oh, but first party you will be able to.
I did. They
I
are
think
implying
that's
yes.
all game by game, right?
But yeah,
a lot of it Yeah.
seems like you will be able to.
God, I've got some decisions to make because I want a PlayStation.
Yeah, so
but I
it's-
also want to be able to play games with my friends.
I'm getting a PlayStation. It's impossible to not get a PlayStation right now.
Well,
It just
if
looks-
you have to buy one, the case
Or
for the
the-
Xbox
right,
does not
yes.
exist.
Yeah, well, no, that's exactly it. Like, I'm not buying both those consoles, but
Yeah.
the PlayStation is just, and even just with the Marvel game, they have fucking Spider-Man. Like, are you kidding me? That in itself
and
is
that's what
such a
sucks,
huge
'cause
seller.
I want to play with Warren.
Yeah.
We all got to play on Xbox.
Maybe he'll get a PlayStation. Who knows? Maybe we'll sit on it until I don't know. Who knows? But it runs terribly on the PlayStation. Runs fucking terribly. So on the Xbox, I'm sure it'll be worse.
Yep.
Your gear doesn't show up on your character is maybe one of my biggest problems. Nothing changes because they are selling
Because
you.
it's just it's just skins, right?
Yeah,
You
they're
get
selling
entire skins.
You can buy them from the store. They're selling you skins from the store to change how your character
Oh,
looks.
so like you're talking like the stat changes, like if you're going to the cold area and you put on cold armor. it
Yeah,
doesn't
or
change
like
how
if I get a
your
new
character
if I get a new piece of gear for whatever, if Black Widow gets new armbands, the armbands never change. If she gets a new like top, the top doesn't change.
Right.
I hate that in games. I had that.
It sucks. It makes the gear. So the thing I want to say coming away, like it was
Yes.
pretty positive going into it. I don't think the Marvel thing is enough to carry me through maybe all of that game.
Especially not knowing how much of that game there is.
Yeah,
Like,
because like all the missions I played, like was literally running down an identical hallway of like, oh, we're already copy paste. I see the theme of this game.
Mm-hmm.
We're running. This is the mission where you run down this zigzag hallway and then there's a big boss fight at the end. Oh, this
Yeah.
is the mission with it's got the 3 platforms or whatever. Like it's gonna be it's gonna be identical spaces, much like Destiny. But
Yes.
what if they were even less than Destiny? Instead of this big open space, it's like, here's this hallway you ran down 30 times.
You hope, but I don't believe. But you hope that they have a lot more in the can than they were putting out there for the beta.
Yeah. But even every single different mission type in the beta was like, go to a place, kill some dudes.
Sure, yeah.
In a way that like
That also sounds very Destiny.
yeah, it was
Destiny was like go a
even-
place. I remember Destiny, specifically Destiny 1, was literally go a place, push a button, hold off the enemies
Yeah.
for like 90% of the missions.
It might as well
in
be
game.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the Destiny still there was a part of it that it was still leaning on the game itself.
Yeah, 'cause
to
it was
drive
so-
it.
it was
Whereas
so tight.
Yeah, where Avengers, it seems like they're leaning on the fact that it's Avengers.
Yes,
to
I-
drive it, where it's like, oh, it's the same hallway, but you're Iron Man.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, fuck off. It doesn't matter anymore. I don't want to wrist rocket these same dicks again.
Fine, we'll play without you.
Yeah, and then like even the heroes only having 3 abilities, like once, and they're kind of no combos. Like there's heavy and light attacks.
So like
but that's
even
it.
like the like you said you have a skill tree, but it's not changing your abilities.
Not
It's-
really. It adds a new attack here and
Right.
there, or like
Splash
and you hold
damage or-
totally
yeah.
like you hold triangle and now you do a big splash attack or whatever. But it's a very small kind of skill tree. So if there are new abilities that you can switch to, if say everyone has even just another set of 3 abilities you can swap between or something, that might be enough. But
Yeah. Because you can do that. You got that with Destiny. That's one of
totally,
the things that made
and
it
like you're discouraged from switching heroes, which sort of sucks because your level is going with one hero. Like your gear goes on Hulk, and Hulk is level 13, and you can take Hulk and do these higher level missions and stuff. But if you want to play Ms. Marvel or
have to
whoever,
go back to the
you have to
early
go back and
missions and-
grind the gear out because she's just too low level. She gets
Yeah.
just dummied by the high level enemies.
And that's tough for a game like that because with Destiny, like it's they had the 3 classes, and I pick my guy. Like I'm Warlock, and like that's me. That's my identity. I'm the Warlock. That's what I do. I'm gonna level this guy the fuck up. I don't give a shit about the other classes. Whereas this, I want to play as everybody. Like I
Yeah.
want to jump
Well,
in. I want to try Captain America. I want to play as Iron Man.
Also, you can lean on the fact that you're like, I'm always going to be the Warlock. I don't care if I'm fucking playing with 2 other Warlocks. Whereas I understand in in Avengers, you can only have one hero
That's correct.
selected.
Yeah.
So you could be a level 13 Hulk and a level 1 everything else, and then you go to play and some other guy picks the Hulk before you, and then you're like, oh,
they do
can't have 2 Hulks. I
Yeah,
guess.
when you're queuing in, you can kind of pick a hero and then queue in to match with other heroes.
Oh,
so
so
you can if you're playing by yourself, you can get your own thing.
Right.
But like we'll have to have a conversation in our group of like,
Who's going to be the
yeah,
Hulk?
I want to be Thor. I really want to be Thor.
I feel like we wouldn't have too much problems.
He's
with
not
that.
in
I
the
think we-
beta, but his combat felt really good to me. And everybody moves very differently, which is cool. Like Iron Man can fly. Black Widow has a grapple hook.
Fucking Iron Man.
Yeah, Iron Man's super dope.
fuck
Iron
Iron
Man is
Man,
very cool.
I played lots of Anthem. I'm ready to be a fucking Iron Man.
So speaking of Anthem, that's very interesting. I kind of the thought of like, if this game wasn't an Avengers game, if the game wasn't a Marvel, if this was just generic new IP,
Yes.
would it be dead on arrival in the exact way that Anthem was?
Maybe. You seem to have been
And it feels like
enjoying
it would have,
more,
honestly.
maybe just from the Avengers stuff, but you seem to have been enjoying the gameplay even more than you were enjoying the gameplay in Anthem.
Yeah, but part of that might be because you were shooting rockets as Iron Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so
I'm
it's
just going
it's a
off
little
the
bit
fact
different.
that you
where
said it plays better than I thought it would.
It does. It does. It is weighty third person combat, and you can dodge and parry. There are parry mechanics. You can hit a parry window, and
okay.
it is tight in that way. Where if you're good at the combat, that will reflect, and that's fun.
Okay.
But
it's not
everything-
like I'm playing a fucking Jedi in Battlefront, and it doesn't really feel like I'm playing as a Jedi necessarily.
No,
like,
you're-
Yeah, it feels like a lot more involved.
Yeah.
Being Iron Man. Okay.
fuck, Kev's making a pizza, and boy, oh boy, does it smell good.
I just don't know. I just don't know. Again, even after playing it, like more positive on it than I thought I'd be, I just don't know. It doesn't seem aggressively terrible, but
Yes.
It doesn't seem
just
like
don't
something
know.
that's gonna like. It seems like it's something that we're gonna be after playing a few rounds of Overwatch, and we want something light to play. Be like, oh, let's fucking run down a hallway and kill some guys in adventures for a bit.
Yeah, there's mentally a lot of ways that you can look at it. Like the way that I look at it that gets me the most excited is like how you described it as a chat room kind of game where I'm like, man, you know what we need, you know what we as friends need for a chat room is a fucking Marvel chat room because we
That'd
fucking
be
love
perfect.
that shit.
Yeah.
But then the other ways to look at it is be like, this sounds worse than Destiny 1.
Yeah, in some ways.
We love Destiny
I know,
1.
I
so-
love Destiny 1,
Yeah,
but
that's one of my favorite games of all time.
Yeah, it's gonna be a weird one. I think we're all gonna come out of this game being like, fuck, they should have just given us like a 20-hour single player because there's some good. It opens with like a single player mission that is like it's like Spider-Man. Almost. I'm like, fuck, where's the single player Marvel game
Yes.
where like I want a whole game as me playing as Cap or something.
I still really want, like, when I think about the Avengers, I still really want to like play with people. Like that's what I want. I want to fucking fire it up.
And
with the
I
boys.
get
We all got
that
our
too,
guys.
like-
Like, something like an Arkham City though, you know, where you're seeing famous villains and all the
Totally.
heroes, and you're like, oh,
and
that's
like,
whoever.
the game you're describing is more my kind of game, but I totally understand like the whiteboard design doc where it's like we're making an Avengers game. It's like, okay, everyone needs to be an Avenger.
Yeah, it's gotta be
like all
it's
your
gotta be
friends got to be
multiplayer.
Avengers. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it feels like it's going to try to thread that needle of give you kind of some of that single player stuff, which was pretty, from what I saw, was like, I'm kind of interested in what's going on. Captain, notice it happens in the very first mission, and they show it in the trailer and that demo. Captain America fucking dies in the beginning of that game.
Yeah.
But he still plays a tutorial. There's still a Captain America tutorial. So does he really? Someone is going to throw a shield at some point.
Somebody gathered up the
They
Dragon
map
Balls.
that onto something.
Somebody got the Dragon Balls.
Yeah. Last question. Can I be Doctor Strange?
I have no idea. I
wanna
do
play
not
with
know the roster. I hope so. The more characters, the better. Honestly.
Yes, and characters are going to be free. They said
Yes. Good.
characters, yes, skins, no.
Gonna add them over time. Yeah, the skins and like not having no dress up really sucks.
Well, and
Really sucks.
and going back, so you should have skins. You should be able to unlock skins and pick different skins without paying for them.
Yes, and maybe you can grind them out or something. Maybe they have some kind of a thing built in for that.
But even if there is a kind of grinding where all of a sudden you just feel real sour about how much they expect you to do when you could just pay them.
It's like Darth Maul all
Yes.
over again.
But going back to your point, which I don't have a solution for other than make skins available to us early and often, to the Black Widow thing is I don't know if I want like my Iron Man having like a blue fucking body that has cold resistance because it's my best thing, but then red legs.
Yeah, but like if in good dress up games, you can always change the colors. You can
Because
always
in-
transmogify. And,
Sure,
and
but
do all
also
these
in
different
good
things.
dress up games, I don't think I've ever had a reverence for the actually how cool they look in the fiction. Like most of them are like Destiny, where it's like, man, I don't care. I'll have big fucking spiky shoulder pads, and I'll have elephant ear
I'm
helmet.
way into. I'm
Yeah,
like, man,
that
I'm
doesn't
gonna use.
matter.
I'm gonna go and get that thing that makes these shoulders look like these other shoulders because these ones look fucking rad with the globes that float over
yeah.
them.
And you're right. I guess they could have put something in where it's just like take all your gear and unify it into one thing.
Yeah. And it makes the loot feel significant though, right? Because you get a new piece of loot and you're like, wow, the number went up by 1. Like that is way less interesting than like fucking look at this weird blue thing now that goes on Iron Man's center and I can change the colors of this or whatever.
Yeah.
It's shaders and
Yeah.
It's true.
the no dress up part in a loot game is maybe my biggest problem with the beta, anyways.
Also bothers me that I need to collect loot in a video game where Tony Stark is on my team.
Yeah.
Yeah,
fucking
build
buy
it.
it.
Fucking build it.
Build it or
can't-
buy it for me, you dick.
He's dick. He can't. He's not. Nolan North not gonna fucking help you.
Yeah.
Nathan Drake.
Never has.
Might as well. He's gonna fucking bring on. I don't remember what it says. Sigmundus.
Sigmundus.
I guess I'll just quickly talk about Mount and Blade as well because I started playing Mount and Blade, not Mountain Blade, like I thought this game was for a long time.
Good.
This is the second game, Mount and Blade 2 Bannerlord. I've never played a Mount and Blade in my life. I've never played a game quite like it in my life. It is kind of broken into 2 parts. There's one part where you are. So it is like medieval. It is not magic and stuff, but it is a fake medieval land. And you are. It's kind of a sandbox. Like I don't know if there's a quote way to win, but you are you start as one person. You only ever control one person, and you're kind of raising an army, and that army gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and you take over castles, and then you use that to take over villages and whatever.
Is it like a big world?
Yes, very very big world. And part of it is you are running around. You have parties. Your little party, which is just a horse on like a big. It's like a Civ map almost.
Okay.
Big map, and I have a number. I got 40 guys in this party or whatever. And when you get into battles, you battle other armies or raiders or whatever. When you get into battles, you are controlling your dude. You have one dude, your commander or whatever he is. He's a dude, and then everybody else you have with you goes on the battlefield. I have the units set to the maximum. I can only have 1,000 units on the field. You have more in the battle, but it will only spawn 1,000 on the field at a time. So as they die, it'll spawn
like
in
tickets?
more.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Okay.
And then it is this third-person like action game. Like there are a lot
Destiny
of
Warriors. Dynasty Warriors.
kind of. There are a lot of games. It does the For Honor, like you can attack in 4 directions. You like hold up and you're doing an upward attack. You have to block up to do that. Or like Mordhau is very similar. So it's this weird like weighty physics action game where like if you point up so that the spear literally hits the other person's head, it'll hit their head for more damage and all this. But you're also controlling your troops in real time as a commander. Kind of in like a much better realized version of the Brutal Legend kind of real-time strategy part where because I'm just a dude, I can like press my archers button and I go like archers and I can tell them to line up on this hill or whatever so they can shoot down.
And is that stuff that you can do while you're like in mid-fight?
Yeah, you have to do it while you're in mid-fight.
So you're just kind of like blocking a blow and then being like, archer, shoot over here.
Yeah, or so you need to choose if like fuck, am I needed on the walls? Do I have to be in that siege tower and like help my boys up on the walls, or should I be back here and like move people around?
That sounds like a lot like For Honor in a lot of ways. The campaign for Honor was a lot like that.
Totally, but you're controlling all the AI guys.
Right.
Your army is
too
everything.
Much responsibility.
And control. You're giving them direction. They kind of control themselves, which is very cool.
Yeah, you just tell them where to be.
Totally. Yeah. And so you're leveling up your character. There are characters who have stats, and there's a whole bunch of stats, and you're leveling them up.
And these are all like commanders. Like these
they
are
can
all
be
the playable characters that you bark orders with.
Totally.
Okay.
And there are all these different factions and things, and then it is a kind of a sandbox where you are. It's like Game of Thrones simulator, where like I pledge myself as a vassal to a kingdom, and I helped that king in a war. He called the banners.
Mm-hmm.
War came to the north, and they called the banners. So I went and I helped my king, and then he gifted me a castle. He like they were gonna give. I don't know. Fuck it. It's like Game of Thrones. They're gonna give Roose Bolton fucking Winterfell or whatever.
Yes.
And the way that like the politicking works, it is very much seems like a sandbox to kind of recreate those sorts of things where like.
And is this stuff like story driven, or is it like?
Is it kind of just like
are
the
players
we're gonna go take
making
this place
the world?
now? And
So the players are kind of making the world. It's early access. I don't know if there is.
Like, how do you know who called the banners?
An AI king of mine.
Guy, okay.
An AI king of mine.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So it wasn't like a different player was like, you are with you get the banners, Eads. We're fucking going to war.
No, there is multiplayer, but I don't know if the overarching campaign part is.
So everything you were doing and everything you're talking about right now is a single player experience.
That's right, and it's all like system driven, procedurally, not proc gen, right? But it's AI driven, where they're moving their armies around, and every game will play out differently based on what you're doing, what they're doing, and so on and so forth. It's early access. The second game just came out, but I guess for the first games there are a ton of like Game of Thrones mods, Lord of the Rings mods, Star Wars mods, all these fictions where because it's already
you don't have guns.
Yeah, Star Wars.
I don't know how you would do that one. But
just like armies of
we have archers,
Jedi.
so you could archers.
It's true, but what about
instead?
all the people who aren't archers? Are they all Jedis?
Well, they'd be Jedi and Sith probably.
Vibro blades.
Yeah. I mean, back in the Old Republic, there was a lot of them.
Yeah.
So
I've never played the mod. I have no idea, but it is already like not giving a fuck about this fantasy world and like the name like Undik is the king of the Western Empire. I'm gonna talk to him or whatever. It would be way more interesting if like I gotta fucking talk to Jon Snow and pledge myself to the Night's Watch or whatever.
Right.
Yeah. So the mods, when the mods come out, I think that'll be really dope. But it is super cool and it's crazy unique.
Yeah, the whole concept sounds neat. It sounds like something I'd love to play.
It's like big castle sieges. If you like the RTS element of defending a castle, but also really like being up on the wall and like kicking people over the side and like
that one Lord of the Rings game.
Just like that one Lord of the Rings game. No room to fucking swing a sword because you're packed in so tight. It's got both of those. And it's very cool.
The idea of like being able to control the armies and tell people where to go, but also get to fight yourself is neat. I like that idea. Like that sounds fun. Instead of just like a top down, like you're just guiding the armies around, like you're actually in there fucking, you've also got to like take your guy down, and
if you die, you die. If they kill the general on the field, like
that's it.
Fuck.
Everyone just forfeit.
I have no idea
You
what
never
would
died.
happen. No, I'm playing for my first game. I'm playing easy mode, so it's
right.
like I basically
That's what I
can't
would do,
die.
too.
But yeah, I'm not sure what happened. It's very cool.
Seems neat.
Very neat.
I dig.
Early access. You talking about Fall Guys?
Talk a little bit
The
about
last
that.
game.
Fall Guys. I haven't played Fall Guys, so I had not played Fall Guys the last time we gathered here in this room of wisdom. I have since played Fall Guys, won a game, and not played Fall Guys since.
It's probably the way to do it.
Retired.
Yes, I've got I'd say 10% victory rate.
It's very high.
Yeah.
It took me almost 13 hours to get my first win, but I did get it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I want to say I played between 10 and 15, so maybe a little bit under 10% before I got my win, and then just like
I'm good.
I'm done.
Yeah.
I win.
Going on top.
I'm the
Yeah.
champ.
Yeah, it's like an episode of Simpsons I just watched where Homer went to the arcade to learn how to play the boxing game.
great episode.
And then he goes back home to play
an
Bart
oldie.
at the boxing game, and then Marge unplugs the TV, and then Bart says, "Well, I think I'm going to retire from playing this game," and Homer was not happy.
No, no.
Going on top, smart man.
It's the original.
Yeah, that's season 1.
Yeah.
I don't think I think Fall Guys is very fun with other people.
Yes.
Just like I think almost any game is probably very fun with other people. I don't want to play by myself. Those mini games are not fun enough that I want to get in there and also the netcode is bad, aggressively bad, and I fucking hate tail tag.
You have so many more issues with that than I do, and I think it's because I accept that game for what it is.
Bad?
It's a fun game with friends.
It's a bad game.
I never have problems with tail tag. Like every time I go to get somebody's tail, I'm like, oh, I got the tail.
me.
Every time somebody gets
Not
my
me.
tail, I'm like, well, they got me.
You can even, luckily I stream all the time, so you can even see the video evidence on my stream. There are even cases where like I grab Andy and on his screen he falls and on my screen he just dives into the fucking finish line.
That's
what is the real? Who knows? It's dark. What these realities are conflicting. Which one's real? Which one's not?
That's
Sure.
just that's your internet.
If you think
connection.
about it too hard, you'll break.
You'll break.
I still think Fall Guys is a lot of fun, and as you said, it is a lot better with other people. And even as soon as I cracked that game open, my first thought was, this game is going to be great playing with other people. And we played a whole bunch yesterday, and I had an absolute blast. We played for like 3 hours.
It's very
And I was
fun
like,
with other
It was a lot of fun. Had a good time. I like, just the moments of like when we were doing the one level where you have to run across those square platforms and you have to find the path that isn't going to fall, and then
That's a fucking great level.
we found the whole path, and I was at the front of everybody, and I went and I dived and I hit the wall before the finish line and
Big
fell
choke.
and then lost.
Hilariously
Fuck.
huge choke.
Like just fucking and just screamed at the top
Nobody
of my
else.
lungs.
Nobody else around him for miles and just falls over at the finish
Yeah,
line.
and just threw it.
Eat shit.
Yeah,
So I enjoyed my time with that game a lot. I definitely feel like there are way more games that I'm like, oh fuck, I don't want to play this one. This is one of my least favorites.
Totally.
Than there are where I'm like, yes, I finally got this game. I still haven't played the fucking Hexagon one.
Yeah,
Or
it's
Octagon
hard.
one.
It's super hard to hit.
Yeah.
It's
You won that
only a
one, though.
finale. Yeah, I didn't win on one of those.
Yeah, I feel like I like more of the games though, but because once again, I just accept more what they are. Like
I
I'm
have
sitting
a-
there having a few drinks, I'm like, oh, this is good.
It's true. Like I get where you're coming from, and I get where Eads is coming from, and you're kind of coming from the same place. Where it's like, I don't think this game is great,
It's not.
which is what you're saying, and you're saying I'm accepting this game for what it is, which is also true. Which is how I played it. Where it's like, well, this game's not a great, like, it's not a super well made game, and it's clearly a lot of people.
It's pretty well. It's pretty well put together, technically, except for the parts
Well, like
where
the
we like break it every
netcode
time.
and-
Yeah, the netcode is fucking shit. But
And like there's a lot of like the netcode's bad. The fact that they'll put you in team games when the teams are uneven is dumb.
Constantly.
Like there's a lot of things where it's like you didn't have your thinking cap on, gentlemen.
yeah, the
and
team games
ladies.
suck. The team games across the board, I think, suck,
Team games
dude.
are fun. But yes, they shouldn't be any.
I don't want to
Team
play
game-
that fucking egg game
Well,
again
team-
every
Oh,
time.
yeah, the egg game's great.
I have a time playing the team games, but it is very much like these are the games where it feels like I can do my best, but doesn't mean I'm going anywhere. Like if you're on a bad team, you're on a bad team.
Yeah.
Like you're done.
That
You're
sounds
not
like-
going to single-handedly win that thing.
That sounds like a lot of other games we play. Overwatch.
Well, you're not wrong. It's not like that game is not something that I think about playing all the time in the way that I think a lot of people do. But it is the kind of thing where like if I was hanging out with a friend, I'd be like, throw on some Fall Guys.
Yeah,
I'll play some.
That's
I'll play a
great.
couple hours
Great with
Fall
other
Guys
people.
you.
Yeah.
Super fun with friends.
We also need to remember this is the first game of this type. So
that's right.
We're
this is the first battle royale that we've ever.
We're knocking some of the stuff about it. Like they'll figure it out. They'll get it going. I am happy that it is kind of the first of its kind with this format when it comes to a battle royale, and it's not as bad as PUBG was when it first came out. That game, abysmal.
Yeah, but like, look how much time they've had to figure out how to make battle royale servers.
Also, PUBG was doing a lot more than this game. This game has 3 buttons.
Yeah, no, they were absolutely. But still, though, it's still something different. You need to know how it plays. You need to know how people.
And also, the day one, you couldn't even play the game. Like PUBG, you could not connect.
Yeah, I don't think they expected it to be successful, but I think that blew up.
Oh, they knew that it was going to blow up. Like the way that game launched with a full season pass and all these. You want to spend some money? Here you go. Hey, we've got costumes.
I'm a pigeon.
I'm
a duck. They knew.
My cactus now.
They knew. There is a definite focus on the microtransaction side of that game.
Fill up the meter. Go to the next level.
That's right.
I still won't knock them for those failures because they figured them out and it's good now. So I like it. I think
the netcode still sucks.
Yeah, I don't.
I
still don't see as big of an issue with it as you are. You seem to run into a lot of problems with things not reacting the way you want it to, and then the whole time,
especially when one of those finals is like there's 5 people playing tail tag, and when you can't grab people because you're somehow 2 seconds in the past, but people can grab you from 2 seconds in the past. So it's like, oh, that guy's across the. I'm good. Nope, he fucking grabbed me from 10 miles away somehow.
I do like. I see it. I do see enough of like usually with the big crowd games where I'm like, oh, that person's just fucking zipping around. Up in front of me, I can see him literally like disappearing and reappearing somewhere else, where I don't care because I'm like, whatever, I'm gonna get to the end and I'm gonna be in the top 30 or I'm not, and I can't imagine this guy is going to play any role in that. But I can imagine it being a piss off if you're seeing that exact same thing happening in like I need to touch this guy kind of game.
And one of the finales is literally tail tag. The Royal Fumble is tail tag with 6 or 7 people or whatever. Sucks. It's bad
stuff. Yeah, I haven't had too much trouble with it, but I totally see I see people warping around in that game.
Or like you're playing soccer and you jump up to hit the ball and it does the Rocket League thing of the ball moves, but then it goes the other direction.
It's actually a little bit behind you.
Yeah, you realize you didn't hit it and had to catch up and roll you back and like.
Part of that I think for me is also because I don't have my PlayStation Ethernetted in, which I don't do because I almost never play multiplayer games on my PlayStation. But yeah, I don't know what your internet connection is.
Oh, I'm wired in on the PC, baby.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, I've never seen that ball warp or people. I think I saw a guy warp once, and it was in a huge crowd. Everybody like trying to go through one door, but otherwise, yeah.
Warren said he couldn't be here, but Warren says in the chat, Andy dying on this hill like me with Friday the 13th. Love it.
That's true.
Yeah, except my game's better. So
yes.
Agreed. No disrespect to Warren.
I'm also not dying on this hill because I know Eads is still gonna play it.
Yeah,
he's still
I
gonna
don't hate it by any
on the
means.
stream. Yeah, like yesterday was a lot of fun.
Dumb fun game with friends.
Yeah, that's what it is for me, right? Like I'm not sitting down and I'm not playing that game or like trying to become the best Fall Guys ever. I love that game because when I'm playing with people, I'm having fun because I'm not getting riled up over it, which. I get very riled up over games, as we all know.
Yes.
I can relax and have a conversation with somebody while we're playing it.
There's something about the randomness of that game that always makes me feel like I don't need to be that focused. I might just stumble into this win.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And like even too, like I like it too. Like if I go out, I can watch Eads for 2 rounds. That lasts like 10 minutes tops, and then we're back in another one. And like it's funny watching him, and so
fun with friends.
Yeah, exactly right. But I'm probably not going to play that game a lot by myself. Like I'm not. I got other shit to do, other games to play, other shows to watch. But it's a great little fucking end of the day. Crap, go bevy, hang out with some buddies, shoot the shit, and get a couple crowns.
I don't like the game where the fruit is the platforms and you have to remember where they
that
are.
One sucks. Yeah. Nobody ever dies. One time we lost like 30
people.
The
only time people die is if someone gets pushed off, which I totally understand as part of the game, but it just feels like everyone gets on this little square.
Nobody wants to do that.
Yeah, everyone gets on this little square and like everyone's like, and one guy will go down and it'll be like, well, there goes the one guy who got eliminated this round.
Every time I fuck around in that game trying to screw somebody else over, it ends up getting me done in. So
usually me too.
Yeah, it's the one that that new one that they just added where it was the final round where the arms are spinning in the middle. And you have the top big arm going slow, and then you have the bottom one.
Jump King.
Yeah,
or something.
and then the platforms fall too. And I'm always trying to like fuck somebody over, and I always get myself done in.
I got to win like that the other day.
You did, and it was an epic because both of you got just absolutely smacked, and then you thought you were down, but the other guy hit the slime first.
Yeah, it was one of those wins you didn't realize you got it. You're like, oh, fuck, I'm out. And then the crowd shows up. You're like, oh, shit, I guess he got spiked into the earth.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a neat idea.
Yeah.
And I think one day it will be a very good game.
It's cool seeing other games in the Battle Royale genre as well. Like, it's an interesting application of that to a very different style of game.
Yeah. And they just build off it. They listen to our podcasts, they get the feedback, and then they just make better games and build off it, and it gets doper and doper.
That's right.
If you're listening, I don't like the collision in the teeter-totter thing. I feel like I land on teeter-totters that are barely angled, and my guy is just fucking suicide bails,
because you jump
lands and just fucking rolls
You
up.
gotta run. You just gotta fall.
But it's not even just the original fall. It's just the fact that if it's like even the slightest tilted, my guy's like, this is it. I'm going over. I'm going over. Fucking pour one out for me, fellas.
If you jump, you'll always fall for some reason. If you jump and you land on a flat surface, your guy's still like, whoa, will stumble. Yeah, but if you just fall off those teeter-totters, the pro tip in teeter-totters is you fall and you can land on one that is like, as long as it's not straight up and down, you can get it. There's like, because it seems like there are like almost 10 degrees of it, where 9 you're fine, 9 you can't move but you don't fall, and then 10 you fall, and you can land on it at 9 and still just like
just
move in
back
place.
Up the hill.
Yeah. Never jump in teeter-totters. Pro tip: never jump in seesaws.
Yeah, unless you got to jump
Sometimes
up.
there's a
Sometimes you gotta jump.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta go up. But if you can, just fall. Just fall. Don't jump.
And you don't stumble when you jump up. You seem to be fine if you're going up.
Right.
It's when you jump off a ledge.
Or if you're on flat ground and you jump, that is height enough that your guy will slow down. You're like, what?
Because I always do that because you like in Overwatch, you're jumping all the time because you go a little faster.
You go faster,
and that's my impulse is to always jump with it. And then
you really jump fast? Do you go faster? You jump in Overwatch?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
really.
Oh yeah.
With everybody?
Like,
not just Lucio riding on the walls or whatever.
No. You would almost not like. It's not that big a deal, and I can send you a video. There's a timing to the jump and everything.
Okay.
You want to see like the bounce and then come back up. Like it's not just like mash A. It's like a very much like you like crouch as you land and then jump out of it.
Oh, weird. It's like an air
And
strike almost.
And I don't think it will ever save any of us.
Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't.
Slight move speed increase.
Yeah, like
you might over the whole thing get maybe an extra second, but
yeah, like if
could save an overtime one day or something.
it's true.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. Even
I mean, knowing all of the people I play with, if they'll get there and then decide, well, I made it, but I'm not going in.
Yeah, not gonna go to payload.
I'd probably just die anyway.
Yeah.
I'll wait back here.
Yeah.
Stop doing an impression of me.
That's my Andy. Let's take a quick break, gentlemen. Y'all got games to talk about. We'll take a quick break here, and
Brando's like,
see you on the other side of this musical break.
I think I talked about my one game.
He's got a game. Andy, what have you been up to?
Well, I've been playing some video games.
Yeah, what you wanna tell us about?
So I finished Paper Mario, which is a big one for me. Being the resident Paper Mario Nintendo fan here on the Talking Reckless podcast.
That's right, Nintendo editor.
I am.
Second one finished though.
I was, yeah, Brando. Like out of nowhere one day, he's like, I'm at the final castle. I'm like, oh, you were like at 3 ribbons the other day. What the shit? But great game to like play at work. That's the Switch for you.
That's right.
So yeah, but anyways, I finally got to the end, and I'm happy to report Paper Mario: The Origami King is a good Paper Mario game.
Good.
It's a good Paper Mario game. I would even go as far to say a very good Paper Mario game.
It's true. I thought you were gonna go great, and I was gonna be like, no,
let's pull back.
But very good. I can maybe stick with very good. It's a tough game to quantify or qualify, because the thing I would say is like the only bad thing about Paper Mario is the combat.
Yeah.
Which is like a big
Most
part of
the
Paper
game.
Mario.
Yeah.
But you kind of get the tools as you go on to kind of like plow through it.
Yeah.
Where it is still taking a little bit more time than you'd like, but it's not taking the kind of time it takes at the beginning of the game. And I feel like once I got to the point where I'm like, these fights are like at most 20 seconds, then I was like, now this game's great. Now I'm cruising through this game. The writing's great. The story's great. The fucking characters are fucking fantastic.
Yeah, and I think actually, like even one of the things I had the biggest issue with it is that I'm not really a puzzle guy. I don't like puzzle games. I don't want to play puzzle games. I hate puzzles. I'm bad at puzzles, like I am. And there were times when I'm playing Paper Mario, and I'm like, I'm fucking stupid. Like, how could I not figure this out? They're in part of the game, and just if you want absolutely no spoilers in this game, don't listen to this part for the next little bit here. But
Or
this
last week.
Is this story or
this isn't story. This is
mechanics?
just It's like it's not story. It kind of is, but it
just
isn't.
spoils the end of Dark.
So anyways, everybody dies. But there's one part in the game where there's these 3 houses, and you have to get these 3 orbs to unlock a door, and each house has a challenge.
Okay.
So the first one is like a power challenge. You just basically got to break blocks by using the battle mechanic of hitting A or B at the right time with your hammer and jump. It was fairly simple. The next house is one where it's a knowledge test. So they ask you questions. It starts off with true or false, and they ask you questions based off of things that happened in the game up to that point.
Okay.
Which is not an uncommon thing to do.
They've done
Especially
that
in Paper
before
Mario.
Paper
Yeah,
Mario.
Mario's
Paper Mario
done
too.
trivia.
There was a game show in the first game or something, I think, right?
The Thwomp, like, he's got a little bow tie.
That's right.
That's good shit.
That first dungeon.
Yeah, which there's also another game show thing later in this game as well too, which is also fantastic. But there was a point in that doing that where like you had to do like 3 rounds of this, and the questions were fucking like I knew none of them. I was kind of shooting in the dark for most of them.
3 for 3.
Yeah, well, you're a hero. So, and I got to the end of it, and one of the things was there was 3 toads, and it was like, okay, talk to each one of the toad statues and figure out which one is lying.
This was good. I knew you would have a fucking problem with this.
Do you remember what they said?
Because
Can
I'm
I try to
stupid.
figure out if they're lying?
So I don't know. Like, can you reiterate? I'm gonna try. How about I try to reiterate it, and if I get it wrong, you can say. So it's tough because there's something about it I just did not get. So it'll be like you'll go to one toad and he'll say, "I'm not lying." You go to the next toad, it'll say, "Red toad's lying," and then you go to the next toad and it'll say, "Green toad's lying."
Okay.
And say the last one I talked to was the blue toad in the middle and was the green toad. And then you have to figure out who's lying.
And they just all say another toad is lying.
Well, no, the one will say,
one
I'm not
says,
lying.
I'm not lying.
Yeah, I'm not lying. And then, so red toad says, I'm not lying.
Okay.
Green toad says, red toad's lying.
Okay.
Blue toad says, green toad's lying.
Okay.
I think it's very difficult to solve without having it in front of you.
Yeah.
Right.
But I have no doubt that you would be able to figure it out.
So I didn't get it, though. And I could not fucking figure it out to save my life. I had to pay the guy at the beginning 1,000 coins.
Is it the only toad that didn't get named? Is that the one who isn't lying?
Huh?
What? I still don't. Who wasn't lying?
Well,
Is it like the only toad that didn't get named?
It changes every time.
But is it like because he says I'm not lying, he's lying, he's
No,
lying?
I
Is the
think,
only one
I
who
think
doesn't have
it was one of the ones that said this toad is lying, but he says, whichever one. This is such a hard thing to. It's the toad that was lying was the toad that says this toad is lying, and that toad that he was pointing out was the one who said I'm not lying.
Oh, okay.
So
So
it's not, you would have been able to figure it out.
Yeah.
I think
Because the toad who's said I'm not lying is lying, and the toad who said that toad's lying. I think I can follow.
It's
Okay.
and I didn't just look like they didn't do it, and then I'm like, oh, I got it. Like I stood there and looked at it for probably a minute.
Yeah, and
before I was like, okay, you just run through the options. Like you would get there, you're like, okay, if you're lying, what doesn't make sense? If you're lying, what doesn't make sense? If you're lying, what doesn't make sense?
Yeah, and so...
But I could totally see people having trouble with it. Like I think it is a kind of mindedness that you are that I think that clicks quick or it never clicks.
Yeah, and I'm an idiot, so it never clicked. But anyways,
A kind of mindedness is how I prefer to say it.
Idiot-mindedness.
So, and I went into extreme detail on that one thing, but the bottom line for me was there were points in that game that were like that where I couldn't really wrap my head around what it was trying to do or what the challenge was, because a lot of that game is puzzles. The battles themselves were puzzles, and a lot of the outside stuff was puzzles too, which isn't uncommon in a Paper Mario game. But there was so much of it that the parts that were challenging weren't things that I enjoyed, and it was a bit of a roadblock for me and almost stopped me and made me put down that game at a couple points. Because for me, when I'm playing that game, and for what I love about those first couple of Paper Marios, I want the RPG element as a challenge. I want the enemies I'm fighting to be a challenge.
Yeah.
I want the menu stuff to be a challenge. I want to think about the battles. That's what I enjoy out of there.
What kind of hammer do I got to bring to this thing that's going to have spiky enemies?
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I want. That's the kind of challenge I enjoy, right? Which this Paper Mario is completely the opposite of what I enjoyed about those first games. That, yeah, there were moments where I was like, look, okay, I'm kind of dumb. I'm not getting this, but I'm also just not enjoying these challenges. I appreciate that they put that challenge in there, because I thought that it was just going to be a very simple game for kids the whole time. But I was like, oh, actually, it has some sort of a ceiling here that you can hit. But it wasn't what I wanted. So I struggled with that. That being said, the writing was so good, the story was so good, and the characters were so good in that game that it kept me going. That was the thing that got me to the end, was I just enjoyed that world so much.
And that's the bottom line.
That's right.
Because Andy Captain says so.
And coins are the ultimate, you spend enough money, we'll make this as fucking easy as you need us.
So that was going to be the other point that I made. That game is the perfect example of society as it is, in that if you can throw enough money at something,
yes,
you can get through anything. And that game gives you so many fucking coins. Like, there's so many battles that I just was like, oh, I can't beat these guys. Let's just call all the toads in, throw 900 coins up in the air. The toads come in, they solve the puzzle. I beat the guys. Boom, on to the next one.
I literally got to the point where I had solved kind of every puzzle that game's going to throw at you in terms of the combat puzzles. There's only so many combinations, and there's a lot of combinations.
Yeah,
but you get to the point where it's not even solving the puzzle, but you'll just see parts of the lineup where it's like, okay, I know how to get these guys into a line.
Yeah.
Every single time, because I've seen this before. And once you have them in a line, then everything else kind of falls in place. But I got to the point even when I was like, okay, I can solve all these puzzles, where I was like, I got so much money, I'm just going to spend the money and let them fucking do it.
Yeah. It sounds very much like an intentional choice. That is the story I've heard from everybody who
I
plays
feel like
it. Is like
any age can beat this game.
Yeah. The puzzle solving.
Because there's enough coins to be like, just make this 300 coins easier for me.
But you're right, though. They tried to balance it where if you want the challenge, you can find it. But the thing I hated was that they're always dangling the carrot of making it easier for me, right? It's not like a game.
I'm like you. I do not like easy games.
Well, yeah, I know.
Do not like easy games.
And
I'm boring.
I'm for the most part the same way. But it also, the challenge in the game has to be something that I like. I didn't like the challenges in this game when I hit them. So I was spending the money. But I also didn't feel compelled to try to learn to get better at it throughout the game, because that carrot was always there of, oh, you can't figure this out, just fucking throw some money at it. And you get the toads in here. There's going to be tons of coins down the road. No problem, brother. And that, I felt that the balance there was off. If they could have had, where they made it where you could do it on normal or hard, then maybe it would have been a different story for me.
No difficulty selection. It's just one.
But it's basically, this is the hardest difficulty we're offering, and you can pay your way
Use
down
coins
as you go.
to make it easy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I didn't really care for that. And yeah, just the fact that there's just so many coins. Like, it makes the progression in that feels so meaningless, because essentially your experience is the coins that you're getting, and you're getting so many coins that you just
might as well be infinite.
Yeah, you just pay your way through that entire game. It was rare that I ran into a situation where I was like, oh, I have to get some more coins. And it was usually because I just bought some stupid thing for 10,000 coins or something like that.
There's situations in that game where you can go through menus and barter your way down for stuff you want to buy. And I got to the point where I'm like, they're like, the first offer they'd be like, oh, I'm like, yep, give it to me, here's your money. I will never see the bottom of this coin bag again. So
Paper Mario, the Origami King. Paper Mario, the Origami King.
Yeah, it's still a really good game. Despite everything I say about all that stuff, like the writing and the story, and
Bobby.
I got
best new character, Bobby.
Yeah, and I'd say Olivia too. Olivia goes in there too.
Olivia's very good.
Oh shit! What is Olivia?
She's like your guide.
Yeah,
what is her?
She
I don't want to say race. What is her species? Is she a Goomba?
Origami.
She's origami. Yeah, she's the sister to the Origami King.
Oh, the origami royalty.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bless you, Brad.
Thank you.
Yeah. So the last thing I will say, the music in that game also fucking banging. Yeah. Holy crap. That last level, and I texted Brando as soon as I got into the final castle or whatever. I was like, this fucking music is sick. It's this, it's not even you'll get background music. It's kind of creepy in Bowser's Castle or whatever. This music was double bass pedals going on drums and guitar just ripping. It was like I was at a metal concert and just constant. And then the battle would fire up and those fucking double basses would go and
fucking motorboat.
Yeah. Apparently.
Holy
big guy from Star Wars.
Yeah. It's the background music was already at battle level, and then you get into a battle, and then it just
turn it to 11.
Yeah, it fucking just jacks it up on steroids.
I think that the bells and whistles around the gameplay of this game. This is the kind of game that we will talk about in every awards category at the end of the game or at the end of the year, and then for game of the year it will be a fringe
not
a fringe game.
maybe not greater than the sum of its parts,
Right,
but has very
exactly.
good parts.
Yeah, it's still like I'd still definitely it's going to be in top 10. I would say I'll be bold to say that now.
It'll be a good year if it's on my top 10.
The biggest fight it's going to put up in a category is for moment of the year. It's
Think so?
It could be there for music.
yeah, well, and music too.
Or
Absolutely.
best new character.
And best new character. But I think that the main fight, because that honestly, that one moment,
there's a very good arc in that game.
I just for a Mario game, and Paper Mario's kind of already kind of on the outside of what all the other Mario games are.
Definitely
as
a
is.
tangential Mario. It's with the carts and the tennises and things.
Yeah, but it's that like just that moment, I was like, what? Like, no, you can't do that in this game. Like, what is happening right now? So yeah, so it had just overall story and the character development that it drives that game. It's really good.
Heck of a.
Yeah.
We got a good Paper Mario game finally.
Yes.
It's been a while.
Thank God. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
Oh,
Sticker
very
star.
good.
A very good Paper Mario game. Yeah.
Not a great.
What else have you been up to, Andy?
I've also just started playing a game called Bug Fables.
That's not a real game. What does that
made
mean?
that up.
You made that up right now.
It is.
Bug Fables?
Remember when you guys
Bug Snacks and someone was talking, they were playing, Warren's playing Fable, Bug Snacks and Fable, Bug Fables.
Remember when
made
you
it
guys challenged me on there being another Paper Mario to make 6 of them, Color Splash, and then I was right? Remember that moment?
Yes.
This game is real.
Oh, I thought this was going to be a Paper Mario Bug Fables.
I mean, this is kind of a secret Paper Mario game, isn't it?
Yeah, so this kind of segues, on my Paper Mario point and my love for Paper Mario. This game is one that always pops up for people whenever they're complaining about the fact that Paper Mario isn't the same as it used to be. Mm-hmm. A lovely team of developers, who I don't know who they are, you're looking it up right now, so you'll be able to tell me, decided to get together. They clearly shared a love
Moonsprout Games.
That's them. They clearly shared a love for those first 2 Paper Mario games so strong that they decided to make their own game based off of those battle mechanics. And 2 hours in, can say it's so far a great game.
This is Paper Mario as Paper Mario.
Yeah,
Holy shit.
just with bugs. It's crazy how much as you're playing that game the whole time you're like, wow, this is Paper Mario, except not with Paper Mario.
Yeah,
like,
it even has like 3 resources. It looks like health and flower power and what was the other stars or whatever.
Battle points or
Battle
whatever.
points.
So,
Yeah.
so you have health,
Badge points?
You have health, you have team points, and then you have badge points. So they just replace the BP with
Flower.
the flower points with team points. So, but essentially that same thing. All the mechanics are exactly the same. Even in battle, like the whole
Is this on anything other than PC?
PC and Switch. You should play it. You would like it. Yeah, you might even like it too. It'd be good on the stream if you like the first 2 Paper Marios.
I do like the first one.
But even
I played the second one.
Oh, you should play a 1,000 Year Door. You should tell it down.
You should play that before you play this.
Yeah. If you're gonna play,
I started playing 1,000 Year Door and then just never kind of got around to it again.
oh, it's
try.
I made it past the dinosaur, the dragon. Did the first few bosses, dragon and Koopa friend.
I'm sure you've heard of it, but there is a...
We saved his father. Spoilers. His father was still alive. I think it might have been inside the dragon. I don't remember.
They're
Yeah, that's
almost
true.
always
We
inside
had big
the thing.
eyebrows,
'Cause the
big bushy eyebrows.
the dragon also eats all the Toad audience too.
Oh yeah, that's
Oh,
true.
that was
that's
fuck.
right.
Guy gets his health back.
That
true.
shocked me as a child.
Fuck.
Which Paper Mario's, that's kind of what they've always been. They've had kind of those things where you're, wow, what?
There's a section of that game that you will fucking adore.
Is it the wrestling?
Yes.
Yeah,
Its reputation precedes it.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really good. But anyways, Bug Fables. So even like the layout on the maps and stuff like that, in Paper Mario, how in those old ones, when you go to a different section, like it has that triangle walk path that shows that you can. It has that in these games. In the battles, like you have the whole hold the joystick in one direction, then release
Hammer
it.
attack.
Yeah, well, you don't have those. They're like they
That
have
was
their
the
variations.
hammer. That was the hammer equivalent, though. You have to hold back on the joystick and
yeah.
go ding, 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 and you let go.
So you can pretty much find an equivalent. Like there's one, the bee in this game has a boomerang, and when you're charging one of his special attacks, it has that meter with the circles on it, and you have to hit A when the meter fills up and hits the circles. So those things, like it's
These are all meters that I've used in Paper Mario.
yeah. So it is it's taking all of those elements and putting it into this game.
Where's its inspiration on its sleeve? It sounds like
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, even the music
What
itself.
do you know
like,
about sleeves?
it's true.
Mr. Tank
Rocking
Tops.
it.
Suns out, guns out, baby.
It's true. I rip them off as soon as I buy a shirt. Right there in the store after I buy it, they're like, all right, have a nice day. I'm like, you bet.
That used to be a hoodie. What you're wearing right now.
Looks him right in the eyes.
Yeah. I'm going to eat dinner after this.
Security.
So, and even in bug
Real
fate.
intensity where it locks eyes with you.
Oh, yeah, I'm looking at him too, smiling too, like fucking. Also, too, like one of the things about Bug Fables that kind of worried me was when I jumped into it, especially with kind of the skin of it. The characters, it doesn't really seem like a world that I'm going to get drawn into because it's bugs, right? I don't give a fuck about bugs.
Yeah, it's not Mario. Who cares?
Well, exactly, right? But 2 hours in, the characters are immediately charming. There's a bee that is an absolute bee. He's fantastic.
A bumblebee.
Yeah, like he's a young dude and he's like snarky and has like an attitude and like
sounds like a bro.
Like lips off
Sounds
the queen.
like a bro.
No, he's not a bro. He's not a bro. Bro, you have to have some sort of like a masculine stature too, I think, and like be tough in some way. And this bee is not tough.
Why do we call you a bro then?
Yeah, masculine in stature. But the characters are very charming right out of the gate, and it even has like kind of like those speech bubbles, and they do it in Origami King and all the Paper Marios, where like one person will be talking in the big bubble, and then you'll see like the smaller bubbles down in the corner. Yeah, the peanut gallery bubbles. Yeah, so it has all those like the little snarky remarks
always
about
make me
stuff.
laugh.
Yeah, those are fantastic.
Who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah, which I want to go back to
Swears? Are there swears in Bug Fables?
no, there's no swears in Bug Fables. Can I share a moment in Origami King that I really liked?
I don't know.
We're already talking about Bug
spoiler?
Fables.
It is kind of a spoiler moment. I won't talk about it. But there was one moment where it got me so good, and I was like, that was such a simple thing, but I laughed at it so hard because they baited me, and I fell for the bait, and I got the laugh because I fell for the bait on it. But anyways, I won't talk about it.
I saw you coming.
Yeah, I'll talk to Brando about it after. But yeah, so they have those speech bubble things. The world looks very Paper Mario, like it looks very N64 Paper Mario-ish. Yeah, it's good. The battles all feel really good. The outside battle stuff, like the puzzles to solve in areas, they're really cool. And one thing that I like about this that the original Paper Marios didn't really have was the partners all feel very equal, which is neat because Paper Mario's the man. Your partner's kind of there, but he's not as tough. You're never putting him in front to take the hits, right?
Yeah.
Whereas this,
It's fucking Mario.
Yeah, like Mario.
I brought fucking Mario for a reason.
Yeah, like he's taking the bumps, right? Whereas this one, it seems like there's a little more strategy in battle when it comes to who you're placing up front, who's going first, and different things like that.
It's because they know you don't actually give a fuck about the character you're playing.
Yeah.
Compared to Mario.
Yeah, well, exactly. You can't do that in a Mario game, right? Like it's.
But it is you are always a character, and then you have one partner.
No, it's 3.
3 partners.
Yeah, but that's all you have though, and you get them very quick. So you get your team of 3, and those are your 3 guys, and you have them fairly quick right. Are you
bringing all 3 into battle, or are you bringing one and a companion into battle?
No, all 3 go in. So there's 3 of you in a
So
fight.
you have 4 attacks at once.
3 attacks at once.
Yeah.
So it's you and 2 partners.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So, but it's also you are all 3. Like you are,
right.
They are all very equal, right?
Yeah.
You kind of have like the big guy that's kind of like the one that takes the hits, so you kind of put him out front to start with and stuff.
But no
Yeah.
protagonist.
Yeah,
per se.
exactly.
No main character.
Yeah, and even right out of the gate when the game starts, like 2 of the guys that you play as are like a part of the same interaction. Like you get them both right out of the gate. Like it's very much so they're all
and then
equal.
Pick up a third.
Yeah, they pick up a third
that's it
eventually.
for the game?
That's it. Then it's over. Yeah. But no, I really like that. I like that.
Does it,
That was a serious question.
Does it seem like you'll get other characters in the game, or does it seem like just those 3?
No, it's just going to be those 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't think, because even too in the menu when you open it up, it has that section where your party sits.
Yeah.
And it has your 2, and then there's the 1 open spot, and then you fill that open spot really quick, and then it doesn't look like there's any opportunity for swapping.
I followed both of those.
You saw what was going on there?
Brandon went one way and Andy went the other way, and I followed both paths.
I know.
And saw
I
what
was
was
like,
happening.
that was a very sarcastic answer, and I'm not sure I know the actual answer.
Yeah. Well, I thought you were joking when you said it, so I thought
saw it from both sides.
I thought you were being sarcastic,
Yep.
and you're like, that's the end of the game.
And then the game's over.
But yeah, anyway, so sorry, I just feel like I still have points to keep making. But the out of battle stuff, like the puzzles in the world, yeah, they're really cool because it's like, oh, I got to use this one guy to do this one part of the puzzle, and then I get this other guy to do it. It's just not Mario running around, you're hitting everything with your hammer. Like you actually kind of have to think about it a little bit, which is cool. And yeah, it's the story. It's kind of just started to take off a little bit for me. But
Who are you fighting?
King Bugser.
yeah, you're fighting other bugs. Like one of the main ones in the first one is
You like that one?
Team Bugster. Yeah. Whenever I'm talking about my games,
sell from Andy.
it's always
Snaps
whenever
from Brando.
Whenever I'm talking about my games, it's always you guys just cracking jokes, and I'm just trying to stay on target here. So, but one of the you're like the whole thing is just like a bug world. So there's a bug queen.
So you're fighting other bugs.
Yeah, you're fighting other bugs. There's a bug. There's a ant queen, and it seems like the ants are kind of the main colony. of your area, and it's kind of like there's other bugs in the
good
ant
guys,
city. Huh?
Are the ants good?
Oh yeah, the ants are good. Well,
we're the bad guys.
Well, the queen. We don't know about her right now.
no.
So what we're getting a little like I'm just starting to get into the story,
I
and
played
she's
Gears. You don't got to tell me.
yeah, she seems a little shaky, but like
Much like our queen.
but,
Here.
yeah. But right now I'm heading to the Bee Kingdom. So there's like those things. So I'm going to go to the Bee Kingdom next, and there'll probably be a bee queen and things like that. And
It's shocking if there wasn't.
Queen bee.
yeah, Queen Bee, right? Sorry.
Beyonce.
Beyonce is going to be on the thing. Yeah. It's really good. Yeah. Anybody who likes those first couple of Paper Mario games, so far this is shaping up to be, it's just guys who really love those games, and Nintendo wasn't doing them. So they said, let's make it happen. And even as I'm playing through this game, the whole time I'm thinking, man, Nintendo had something really cool with what they were doing with this RPG format. Like, I like the whole half the time attacks. And, that was the other thing I was going to say. Right out of the gate, they give you the option. Brando leans back. Right out of the gate, they give you the option. They give you a badge that makes the game harder. So it ups.
Like Sekiro.
Ring
Yeah,
the bell.
but like immediately. So they're like, you
Ring
can
it.
you can equip this badge. It takes 0 BP. You just put it on, and you'll get more experience and stuff from battles, and it's harder. But I like it because already the battles I'm going into them, and I'm like, okay, like I've got to think about these more, and the blocking and stuff matters so much more.
Oh yeah,
hitting
I forgot about
enemies
time blocks in Paper Mario.
Oh yeah, but
That was like a key thing.
yeah, and we have that again in this game, which is cool. And
That's also in Paper Mario. It just
Origami.
doesn't feel as...
it doesn't
Origami
feel
King
like it
has
mattered.
the- has the block thing.
I could have taken all those bumps without blocking in that game.
In the
That would've been
original
totally fine.
game, I feel like I remember getting to a boss fight where I felt like you had to hit a few, or that boss was just gonna fucking murder you.
Yeah. Like, you
well,
had
and
to have
part of
that
it is
timing.
like you could have different like HP stats and everything by the time you get to that boss. But I definitely fought different bosses throughout the game where it's like I'm just good enough to beat this guy if I hit all my
Yeah.
fucking
It's a big
defensive
attack, and if I
timings.
nail everyone, I'll have 2 health. But here we go.
Yeah, and that's how Bug Fables is. When I beat that first boss, it was like, fuck, like I just made it. Like, and I had to go back in a couple times because you have to time those right. And the one thing I was still trying to get down is, it's 1,000 Year Door. You had it mapped to B, where you could do a special dodge and it would reflect all damage,
Yeah,
but you had to time it
spin.
at the last second, or you could do the regular one with A. Bug Fables, they have it where A is for your block every single time. But if you get it really close, if you time it perfect, you reduce even more
So you
damage.
never have to make that call.
You never have to make
Yeah.
the call if it's
I
going to
like
be A or
that
B.
better.
Yeah,
Well,
me too.
That's hardcore.
Well, they're
Yeah.
2 different games. Yeah,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
there was
yeah.
something special about Paper Mario.
Being
where
like,
it'd be
I need to not take any damage. We're going with the fucking B.
Yeah, exactly, right? So that's cool. Like, that battle system, I love it so much. Like, it feels so good to know. And like, if I fuck up a boomerang thing where I didn't hit A right and didn't get it in the bar, like it has the one where the meter goes back and forth, you have to stop it within the
Golf.
Like, if you fuck that up and you're like, well, I've lost now. Like, I needed to land that.
Just
Like,
fucking throw the controller through the wall.
yeah, like I love that. And this game has that, which is really cool.
You
So
probably sold me on this game.
yeah, you'll really like it.
How much is it?
$30. So
Seems
pretty
fair.
good.
oh, so far from what I played, as long as it has wheels on it, it's a great value. Like it plays really good.
Bug Fables is the game you're talking about.
Sorry, I know you're doing a wrap up here right away, but the last thing I will say.
Fucking throwing the symbol.
Yeah,
up.
I know.
The
It's
signal up.
Bug Fables. A great game, Andy.
Also, I just got to remember to repeat the game after. Just got to remember to repeat the game.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
People fucking idiots will tune in.
Fucking idiot.
Halfway through this
halfway through.
podcast.
Stupid. No,
They're like, I'm just gonna start here. I'm just gonna start
Yeah,
here.
no, you think you're working, and sometimes you get doing a
true.
task or
No,
whatever,
you're
and
not
like
idiots.
you tune back into the podcast. You're like, oh fuck, I wasn't listening for the last 20 minutes. What game they're talking about? Matt just said Bug Fables.
I do that exact same thing on podcasts I listen to, and like I will check out for like 25 minutes, but I usually I'm like, I need to go back 25 minutes because
Yeah,
I didn't
fuck.
listen to a fucking
What game
word
are
of
these
this.
guys talking about? I'm gonna
Or
rewind
they'll
here.
say the name of the game, and you're like, oh, I was actually interested in that, and you got to reverse and go back.
Someone
and
just
listen.
heard Bug Fables for the first time. I was like, that's not a real game. What are these guys talking about?
Well, exactly, right? Like it's kind of a gem in the rough, or however that expression goes. And
Diamond in the river.
yeah, and the first 2 hours of playing it, I'm really enjoying it. The last thing I'll say, excuse me,
Neil in the stream.
what?
No, nothing.
What do you need to say?
Last
sir?
thing I'll say is the only negative thing I really have to say about it so far is the movement doesn't feel weighted outside of the battle, which is a really nitpicky thing. But as you're moving around with your characters, like the thing I like about Mario and Paper Mario is he's got the look. Like,
Did you get the?
Oh,
Yeah, okay,
I know what you're
never
talking about,
mind.
though. I know what you're talking about. Yes, I did.
Okay, good.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry, that was halfway out of my mouth, and be like, Maybe that's a spoiler.
Sounds like an Origami King spoiler.
Yeah, it's not a major one, but it was like when you get it, you're like, oh, that's kind of cool.
There's a pop there if I don't ruin it for you.
Yeah.
So.
No, but that's the one thing is the characters, they kind of just like, they move around. They don't like have any up and down animation or any tweening or anything. And it's just, there's no like weight to their stomps or anything. So you're kind of just like moving around the world in this floaty motion, which, not the worst thing, but it feels like, because this game is already so Paper Mario that I'm like, I feel like I need that like thump. But also too, they're bugs, so they're not very heavy. So I don't fucking. Maybe
Paper Mario's made of paper. He's not very heavy.
But he still has like his. I need some boots hitting the ground. Like I need something, or a little bit of dust going behind them, or something.
Gotta move.
Yeah. Right. But other than that, it's like I really like it. I want to go and play it. I want to go and play it more than I wanted to go play Origami King. If that makes any sense.
That does make sense. It's a tall claim.
Yeah, because of it's a challenge.
You're saying it's the best Paper Mario game to come out this year, maybe.
Fucking ring the bell.
Ding, 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 ding.
Maybe. Well, it also came out last year.
I fucking rang the bell.
So did I.
And
I played a good amount with the bell.
I unrang the bell.
I played all the way to... I beat Genichiro, and then whoever's after Genichiro, I don't think I can beat with the bell.
I beat Lady Butterfly with it.
Yeah, I beat Lady Butterfly too. Yeah.
I thought you said you didn't, because I thought you said I was insane for doing it with ringing the bell, and I said I didn't know what the bell was until after I beat her.
I went through, like, after I played the game.
I because you went back.
And went
You're
back
right.
through.
I was thinking about just the first.
First time. Absolutely
through.
not. You fucking madman. You fucking madman. You should play Sekiro also. We're talking about Sekiro.
Well, and after playing this too, where it's like I'm playing a game again where like there's a challenge where I've had to go back a couple times and fight a boss again. I'm like, okay, I fucking got it this time. Like I love that. I got
a challenge for you. Talk about fighting a boss a couple times.
Yeah. It's gonna take you more than a couple.
Well, maybe
Sekiro.
That's what you think.
You should just buy that game. You should just buy her, Andy.
Well, I got it once I'm done Bug Fables. That might be next. But I wanted to play Bug Fables because it's just coming hot off Paper Mario.
Yep. Runs very well on PC too.
The fuck are you doing not playing
very well?
I thought you were waiting for the PlayStation.
No, I'm playing Bug Fables.
Is it not on console? It's on console.
It is, but he doesn't have a.
Yeah, I don't have.
Oh, is it on Xbox?
It's on Xbox too. I think. I think it's on everything.
I'm not gonna play it on Xbox. I'll play it on PC if it runs better on there.
Bug Fables was the game we were talking about.
Yes.
Bug Fables.
Very good game. Buy it.
On
$30
PC and Switch.
Yeah, cheaper on PC too. I think it's like $15 on Steam. But I got it on my Switch because I like carrying it around. So.
Any other games here to discuss? Brad, you do anything?
No, I played some of the games you guys played, but I didn't play any games that I beat Carrion.
Oh, how did and
it had a very poetic ending. Simple.
Did the monster win?
Don't spoil it here. No, don't tell us. Is it like an inside, like, oh, the end of this game? Holy smokes! Do you ever got to see it?
It's like the game didn't like shock me or surprise me in any way, but it ended, and I was like, oh, that's a good ending.
Okay,
I like that. Yeah.
I don't know if that game's for me. I don't know.
Yeah, it's not for it.
It seems very cool, but I like the way I like the way they die.
Yeah, me too.
I really like the way they scream and
lose their mind. This is a year where I've hated people probably more than any other year. And boy, was I finna eat some fucking people.
Let's talk about some news, gentlemen. What a fucking week for news. My God. This happened shortly after we recorded last week. Halo Infinite delayed to 2021.
That's absolutely fucked.
That is absolutely fucked. They got out there. They had their big Microsoft... they were calling it 2020 or whatever their preview things are called now. Yeah. In hindsight... and they showed Halo Infinite, and the public went, "Ooh, oh man, Craig the Brute or whatever." I think it's Craig. I think is what we've decided his name is. This does not look so hot. Less than
there's a flatness.
Yeah, less than 3 weeks later, they have delayed the game. Here is this is studio head Chris Lee says the decision to shift our release is the result of multiple factors that have contributed to development challenges, including the ongoing COVID-related impacts affecting us all. Yada yada yada. For the well-being of our team or the overall, and the overall success of the game, they're going to ship it. It is not sustainable for them to ship it this holiday, so it's been delayed to 2021.
So I like that. I always like that someone is making a better game than putting out a bad game.
Yeah, makes sense. COVID, yes. Yep. Crunch, bad, yes. For the game, probably the very good, proper, right decision.
And it just didn't look like it didn't have that pizzazz when we saw it, right? And
did not at all.
It's got we came out of that thing thinking like, well, I don't make games. I don't know how much it takes to visually optimize a game that's already complete. Maybe that's the easy part at the end. I somehow doubt it, but it was very much like this game should look pretty well done if it's shipping in November.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, this thing is supposed to be out in a few months.
yes. So I'm glad they're doing this.
Yes.
I'm glad they're pushing it back. But at the same time, holy fuck, Microsoft.
What is gonna launch on the Xbox Series X now?
Nothing.
Literally nothing.
Well, thousands of games.
That's right. From generations past.
Yes, but nothing new.
Crazy. And the turnaround time were like, so they very much bill it as like they claim it is not in response to the public response to their showing, but there is no chance. Matthew, we'd submit to you there is no way that, especially the hundreds of millions, maybe billions of dollars, I don't know how much is worth, a lot of money on the line. There's no way that they're like, so Halo's gonna launch, right? We're good, everyone, we're good, everyone, we're gonna show it at this 2020 thing, we're sure we're gonna make launch. Like, that's the first thing you fucking nail down before you show that thing.
We're on pace to hit this, right?
And
it's a few months away, and they're like, yeah, boss, we got
I guess we'll get out the door.
Yeah.
There's no way that turns around in 3 weeks. There is no way that less than 3 weeks later you have to go to Phil Spencer from 343 and be like, hey.
Yeah. Lenny called in sick last week, and now we're way fucking behind.
Yeah.
Fucking Lenny.
Like, there's no chance that happened. Like, it is definitely in response to the public of the, like,
Ooh, this doesn't
jeez Louise.
Well, it's
maybe
one of
not
those things,
totally.
No, for sure. Like, it's probably one of those things that maybe even if it looked exactly the same as it looked, and everyone was like, it's not done yet. Then maybe that doesn't like hit the same panic button where everyone's like, yeah, you're right, it's not done yet. And then maybe we get to launch day and then everyone's like, oh geez, this doesn't look much better than it did at that thing.
Yeah. Panic button is like the perfect word for it.
Yeah.
Where it feels like, and just what a crazy, that was their flagship launch title. Halo.
That's all they had.
Halo.
That's all they had.
And so this is as an aside, and this is totally speculation, but this is fascinating to think about, is Bungie 343.
Okay. I didn't know where we're going.
Obviously took over for 4 and 5. And those games, for whatever else you want to say about them, look fucking unbelievable. They're great looking games.
Technically, 4, especially on the 360, was
maybe the art design, take it or leave it on some of the new enemies they did, but the game looked polished and beautiful.
No one had ever played a new Halo game or saw footage of a new Halo game and went, "Ooh, that doesn't look very good."
So it makes you wonder if this is the same team or a lot of the same people, or at least the same kind of plan on what a Halo game should look like. What are they doing with this? And this is a positive way, maybe for some people to look at it. What are they doing with this game that game does not look good despite having this much time? You have to think that time was going into somewhere.
Yeah, and it's such a, like, is it by comparison? Is it like we've been playing Ghost of Tsushima and Last of Us and these kind of very high fidelity, like very, very saturated, a lot of, when people say game is flat, they mean the saturation is kind of like the colors don't pop.
And the light. When I think flat, as a TV man, when I think something looks flat, it's like because the lighting fucking sucks.
Yeah. Lighting's like your main thing, probably. That's why I say, like, Ori looks fucking incredible, is because the lighting in that game's so good.
Yeah.
And so I wonder, do you think it's ray tracing? Remember they had a thing where they're like, we're going to release ray tracing in a post-launch patch.
Right.
It's coming. Do you think this delay? And again, this is all supposition, but in my head, like, maybe we'll just push it back and launch with the ray tracing, which is going to make it. It's going to be like, ray tracing is the single biggest jump in quality I've ever seen in my life.
And what if they didn't have like because they knew they wanted to put ray tracing in, maybe their lighting effects, they're like, well, we're not going to build great lighting effects from the ground up just to then fucking patch in ray tracing, which is a whole different kind of technology. So maybe because they want to do ray tracing, maybe the lighting that they had in that demo is actually very substandard. Or
that was like the 3, or not the X version, not the Series X version that they were like, who knows? But it's crazy.
Something about, like, Craig might look fucking great in ray tracing.
He probably will. Ray tracing, again, the single biggest jump in quality, the single, like, feature on, feature off, even bigger than standard def to high def is like, you can't describe it unless you see it in action, but when you see it, you're just like, holy fucking shit. This must be real life now.
Yes, this looks real.
Yeah, it's crazy how good some of that stuff looks.
But still, comes back to, holy fuck, Microsoft. Crazy. What the fuck are you doing now?
Super crazy. Phil Spencer did an interview as well on Gary Whitta. Apparently, Gary Whitta has a Twitch interview show in Animal Crossing, which is very weird.
Don't we all?
It's here. It's crazy how much like stuff people are doing in Animal Crossing.
I know.
Who is it? Hellman's is doing something where you can donate to a cause through Animal Crossing.
Yeah, it's expired
Expired
Mayonnaise?
turnips.
expired turnips.
Yeah, you bring your expired
Yeah.
turnips. You're not supposed to waste them. You go to Hellman's Island and you fucking drop off your turnips.
for
And for
every
every
expired
turnip,
turnip, they're gonna-
they donate so much money to a cause.
That's Hellman's like they're the mayonnaise people,
Yeah,
right?
I don't know if it's Hellman's, but it is.
No, it is Hellman's.
Is it Hellman's?
I'm certain it's Hellman's.
I did see that story about the expired turnips today.
Yeah.
And they use the turnips to make the mayonnaise.
I like mayonnaise a lot.
The expired ones.
Yeah, Phil Spencer in an interview on that show, basically, I have his quote.
This is
I'm
a
not
postponing interview.
postponing. Yes,
Okay.
this is after the postponement.
Right.
He lays out how basically they got together with the team and talked. It was a decision they made together. I'll just read it. He says, it just didn't feel to all of us like the Halo release we would want. The actual final decision-making process took around 24 hours, at which point an announcement was then made to the public. So it very much seems like they got together and were like, hey,
This isn't going to get as much better
Yeah.
as maybe people wanted to get before.
we gotta delay this. We're gonna have to.
And they're also like, this is not fucking Halo 6. Keep us going for a couple years, and then Halo 7 will come up. They want like this thing
Yeah, this
to
is
be a
the
platform
last Halo or whatever.
for tons, like 10 years of Halo.
All the Halo will go here now.
So don't fuck it up.
It's very, very strange. Speaking of very strange,
Yes.
what a boring dystopia we live in. Fortnite is suing Google and Apple after this is like a honeypot. What's the name for the scam where you it's almost like insurance fraud. I'm going to run out in traffic and convince someone to hit me and then sue them.
Okay.
I'm going to add a direct payment system to my game, even though I know the terms of service on these two stores say I cannot, and they're going to ban me, and then I'm going to sue them for it.
Right.
Which is exactly what's happening.
We're going to get into it. This is news and necessary to talk about.
Yeah.
I don't know if I hate this news story.
It's so stupid.
I hate everything
so do
about
I.
this.
When the
like-
billionaires are fighting
Yes.
to make a few more billions, and they're using we the people to do
Yes,
it.
they're like, who can weaponize the people?
That's right.
And I'm like, I don't want to be weaponized by either of you. I don't really even like either
Yeah,
of
you
you.
guys should you just burn each other down. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yes, Fortnite added a direct payment. So first of all, they reduced the price of V-Bucks. They reduced the price of their currency and put a big thing in there of like, if you buy the V-Bucks through our direct payment system in our app, it's $10. If you buy it through Apple, it's $15.
Greasy.
Which one do you want?
Yeah.
And
One of them's lower.
well, obviously they got banned.
So,
Yeah.
pause.
Okay.
Did they also reduce it on consoles?
Everywhere. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And
That was nice of them.
I mean, you're not wrong in that it is nice to make your stuff cheaper.
Yeah, but still.
so they got banned. I do not have the timelines exact, but let's say within
Felt
20
like-
within
this
24
all
hours.
happened in a day. Yeah.
Yes, they released a fully produced. So you remember the Apple commercial of it's the 1984 commercial, big monitor, someone talking in a room about like we have the power, we are the system, we are Big Brother, and then someone walks in and like Caber tosses. I don't know what it was. I thought it was a hammer, but
That's like how they throw in
anyways,
the Olympics.
Yeah,
Like
it was
Caber toss is
like
throwing a tree.
Yeah,
isn't
it was a big spin. I don't remember what they threw. It wouldn't make sense for because it was an Apple commercial originally about
Right.
how like music deserves to be free, whatever.
Uh-huh.
Fortnite
Musicians deserve to be underpaid.
basically Fortnite had a produced commercial ready to go, which is that exact commercial, but it is the like talking tomato town man on the screen being like, we own the video games, and then a Fortnite lady walks in and spins around with a big unicorn sledgehammer and throws it into the thing, and it says #free Fortnite about and has like a little thing about how like we think we don't want 2020 turned into 1984, use the #free Fortnite.
I hate this.
It's so fucking bad, dude, especially if you watch the commercial. It is the most self-serious like
Yeah,
You should watch
fucking
the commercial.
Light a spark under the people.
That commercial.
We are the rebellion.
We are Fortnite.
Going into this, I was like, oh yeah, okay. I knew this movie was coming eventually.
Sure.
Epic wants theirs, but as soon as I saw that commercial, I'm like, you fucking this is
Yeah.
disgust. Leave me out of this.
I haven't even seen that
I don't
commercial
want
yet.
a piece of this.
I saw the like #free Fortnite thing, which made me groan and roll my eyes.
Ugh.
But it like this And I think part of it is like just pay attention to these companies, and none of them care about you at all.
I don't give a fuck.
They want your money, and it is just like you guys. It's like you guys are playing tennis and actively trying to like make me hate you more.
Yeah.
Like everything you put out, like not win me over. It's just like every time you try and like put out your big thing to galvanize the people, I'm just like, oh, maybe I like Epic more than Apple. And then it's and then Epic does their thing. I'm like, no, I like Apple more.
Yeah, it's so
whichever one of you guys shuts up first, maybe that's who I side with.
The big thing, it's a 30% cut that they take. I don't know what the Google cut is, but Apple's like a 30% cut of payment.
Google's
Obviously,
probably similar.
You would think. Steam also does that everywhere.
Yeah, that's how it
most
works.
places. Even the Epic Store is a better cut, but they do an 88-12 split. But yes, this whole billionaires fighting to make a couple more billions, but very much are like, because so Apple Fortnite is not going to be on the Google Play Store. You won't be able to play it on your phone or your Android device anymore. And they are very directly going to the player and being like, you need to get at Apple for this. You need to tell
Storm
Apple
the
to
gates.
fuck off. In a way that like, no, these companies already have their monopolies, and it is super. It is the most.
It's not good for any of us if either of these people win.
It is no. It's
Like-
the most cyberpunk apocalypse thing ever, and
You're both part of the 1984.
it is disgusting. It is so gross. It is so fucking gross.
Don't talk
dude.
to me. Don't talk to me, Apple and Epic.
Neither of you. Even Tim Sweeney's getting out there. He's like, I believe in free games. I believe in free market. Fuck off. You believe in not having to pay 30% of your profit to Apple.
This doesn't even affect me in any way.
It will not.
It's the fucking business.
Yep.
I'm going to play your game and I get them from these stores that sell games. You need to go through that store to sell your game. Don't feed me that bullshit, because either way I'm going to play your game. It's just whether or not you get all the money or some of the money goes somewhere else as well too. Like it's fucking, what are you, three? Fucking, I didn't hear anything about this until now and I'm so mad.
It's disgusting. Watch that commercial and you'll be even angry. That commercial literally made me mad in a way that I'm like, I don't play Fortnite. I don't deal with Apple at all, but I'm invested now.
But let's not let this reflect poorly on Marshmallow.
No, Marshmallow's good man.
He's a good man. He's a
Big
good
fan
man.
of Marshmallow.
Yeah. Who's the other?
Who's the big guy? Yeah,
Travis Scott.
Travis Scott.
Travis Scott.
Yeah.
Heck of a musician.
I was gonna say Travis Tritt, and that is definitely not the one. But I tell you, Travis Tritt at a fucking concert in Fortnite.
You go fucking get Travis Tritt. You got me on your side.
Yeah, you fucking epic. You don't want to be a part of Apple or Google Store. You fucking get Travis Tritt concert in your game, and I will back your ass up till fucking the cows come home.
Couple more stories here. GTA 5, that's a video game.
Yes, it's been on every platform.
Coming out on the hot new PlayStation 5 game, GTA 5, sold over 400,000 copies in lockdown in the UK alone, apparently.
Jesus, Murphy.
I looked and could not find numbers for the world, which is too bad. But in the last, it was since the beginning of March until about right now, 400,000 copies of this game that came out
This is like
7 years ago, you guys. Who is buying all these copies of GTA 5?
it's comical, like how you hear these numbers and they almost mean nothing to you anymore. Where it's like every 8 months we come back with another like, well, GTA sold 22 billion copies on the fucking GameCube. They just released on.
I'd love to see how that ran.
Yeah. But at the same time, it's just like, oh, GTA 5. Maybe when I get a PS5, it'd be the time to get back into GTA. Just buy another copy of GTA 5.
Yeah, it is one of those games where, it's like when Nintendo makes all those HD remakes, and I'm like, I'll fucking jump back into that again. Whereas GTA 5 just seems to fucking carry over and over again. I'm like, well, I'll fucking buy that.
It's like,
I feel like I need that on my console in case Warren wants to play with me.
it's like Snake on the old Nokia flip phones, where you're just like, oh yeah, Snake should be on everything.
Yeah.
So, but now it's GTA 5.
Yeah,
It should be on
like,
everything.
or Tetris, another one.
Sure.
Like, you just feel like it needs to be on everything.
I have the top 5 here. The top 5 games and media, games and movies from
in the UK.
This is only from the UK, unfortunately, but
Yeah, they know what they're doing over
it's
there.
the monarchy. Her Highness.
Yes.
She speaks for all of us.
Stable lady.
Number 1, Star Wars 9: The Rise of the Skywalker sold 600,000 copies.
What?
Movies and games.
Oh,
in the
sorry.
same list.
Okay, I missed that.
So Rise
Yes.
of the Skywalker did the best, 600,000 copies.
Right.
Number 2 is also a movie, Frozen 2, 500,000 copies. Number 3, FIFA 20. We're in soccer, very big,
Yeah.
very big in the UK. FIFA 20, almost exactly 500,000 copies. Number 4, Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Just under 500,000 copies, about 475,000 copies.
Okay, they're doing all right.
Number 5, Grand Theft Auto 5.
There it is.
That is it. The 5th best-selling game and or movie From March till
Since the
about
lockout.
whatever the time
It's a
frame.
game that came out in 2013.
2013.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's fucked.
Only being beaten by the brand new Call of Duty, arguably one of the biggest video game franchises in the world.
Right.
Star Wars, arguably one of the biggest franchises in the world, and Frozen, arguably one of the biggest
And
kids
all
things in the
pieces
world.
of media that have come out in the last 2 years.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fucking
Grand Theft
crazy.
Auto comes in from 2013 being like, bitch, I still got it.
Unreal.
Step aside, Elsa.
Absolutely unreal how much
Fucking
that's
slam Elsa's head in the car door and drive off.
Fuck.
Let this go, bitch.
End of podcast.
End of podcast. A little bit of. I mean, this is news about news. We should hear next week at DC Fandom what Rocksteady's new game is. We know it's called Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League.
This is the opposite of the Apple Epic News. This is my favorite news.
Your
Where
favorite
it's like-
news.
where it's like, you should hear what this thing is called, baby.
That's
and I'm like,
right.
yeah. Get on the hype train.
This is a billionaire. I will tell me what to
That's
do.
right.
Where's
yeah.
my wallet?
Next week, apparently, we should hear more about that, and then they're going to announce whatever the WB Games is. Seems to be a Batman thing. Gotham Knights or
That's
Court
the
of
thing that
Owls
has
or-
been speculated to be Batman for a very long time.
Yeah,
Because that's a Court of Owl stuff. And
Yeah.
Oliver, once we used to have a guy named Oliver on the podcast.
1,000 years ago.
Yeah. He
Talks
was
about porn now whenever he's on.
always telling us the Batman secret. That was
God
an
damn
honor
it.
to have been on that most recent show from months ago, where he talked about it was
Lewd things.
real
Lewd-
bad stuff.
Lewd things. Not bad. Just lewd.
Oh, well,
Pornographic in nature.
I truly believe that everything lewd is bad.
Fair enough.
From my Christian upbringing.
The human body's a beautiful thing.
What do you think Suicide Squad is?
I have no idea. Do you think you're really out to kill the Justice League, or do you think that
I
Superman
think
to me looks like Bizarro?
that's a
He's got
bad
a little bit of
Superman.
pink. That looks like an
Yeah.
evil. That looks like
So
Bizarro
that's either
Superman.
Bizarro Superman or like
Is Bizarro
like
Superman?
MK versus DC. The Superman
fuck.
ate some sort of evil gas.
the
and is
Superman
now
that killed
evil.
everyone in
That's right.
not MK versus DC. What's the
Ultimate Alliance.
Injustice?
Injustice.
Yeah.
That's what it's called.
Yeah.
Superman killed all the non-supers.
Right. But I think it's more likely to be Bizarro Superman.
So do I.
And I think it's going to be like Bizarro Superman shows up, fucking lays waste to the good guys,
Mm-hmm.
and then they're like, we got to get someone
Oh
less
shit!
good.
I hope it's the Joker at the end of it all. I don't know.
Well, the Joker is like
I hope it's the Arkham Origins thing of the mask comes off. You're like, oh, it was the Joker the whole time.
the thing with the tough thing with the Joker is he is the Suicide Squad in some of the same ways as the Avengers. There's kind of an in and out philosophy. There's a lot of people that have been part of it,
That's right.
but not all at once. And the Joker is one of the more prominent
Like a
people
main.
in the Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
So I mean, you could do it whatever you want, but it's like, well, am I going to be playing
He's got
as
so
the
mad.
Joker, or am I? It would be fun to play as the Joker.
It'd be super fun.
Or am I going to be, or is the Joker going to be part of the, as he always seems to,
Part of the
of the
problem.
shit?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Even the bad guys hate the Joker.
A lot of them do.
true.
He's Agent of Chaos.
Yeah. It's a wild card.
Harley Quinn, I think, is the only guarantee. I think Harley Quinn
Definitely.
is literally
Yeah.
the only 100% sure Harley Quinn will be a playable character in this game.
He's a bit Deadshot.
You
What's
think
his name?
Deadshot?
Yeah.
Or do
Is
you
it
think Deathstroke?
guarantee though?
Well,
Yeah,
Deathstroke's
it's like
pretty
a-
cool too.
I don't know if you. I don't think
I
either
agree
of
with
them are
Harley Quinn a
guarantees.
lot.
Yeah,
But yeah, I don't know. I'm just really like
I don't know
I just
that
want
group.
Kevin
Yeah.
Conroy and Mark Hamill and you know let's start a DC game universe
Yes.
thing.
Those guys are good.
Just
You've
give
done
me-
those two guys better than any movie
Yes,
you've done.
just give me Mark Hamill. Just give me Mark Hamill's Joker. Honestly, I don't care who plays Batman, but Mark Hamill's Joker is second to fucking none. It is the best
Conroy
Joker.
is very good.
He's very good.
Yeah.
He's very, very good.
Yeah.
But I could live with another Batman, maybe.
If you told me you can only keep one,
Yeah.
there's no question.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's so good. Mark Hamill's Joker, best Joker. I'll murder anybody who says otherwise.
I don't think he
hands
does.
down, hands down. He's better than everybody combined. He's better than Heath Ledger. He's better than Jack Nicholson. He's better
Wow,
than everybody.
okay, I didn't know we were bringing Heath
Yeah,
Ledger. I thought we were
Heath
talking
Ledger's
animated.
way better than Heath. He's not way better.
he has
Heath
a
Ledger.
bigger body of work.
Very different takes.
He has
Yeah.
a much bigger body of work, but I will say that Heath Ledger's performance impacted me way more than anything the Joker or Mark Hamill has done.
Yeah,
I'm
like
with
there-
you. Like Mark Hamill is my video game Joker that I've heard Mark Hamill do Joker
And
in
cartoon.
so much. Yeah,
He's the
and
cartoon
cartoon in so much stuff. But yeah, Heath Ledger, and maybe it's tough to compare him because the bodies of work are so much like Mark Hamill's done so many hours of Joker. Heath Ledger's done 2.5.
And they're very, very different Jokers.
Well, and that's the thing too. And in terms of like on-screen Jokers, like
Yes.
no, how are you gonna follow up fucking Heath Ledger? Like,
You're gonna
holy
do
crap.
it with fucking
Jared Leto.
Well, but like, look how.
And then Joaquin. Joaquin was good.
Joaquin was good.
Joaquin was very good. Yeah. That was a very
you see that
unique,
one?
interesting take on Joker.
That was no, I haven't watched that movie yet.
fucking
but-
watched
Joker,
Crave,
Joker is
motherfucker.
very good.
Yeah.
Actually, like,
Yes, that's a very good
what
one.
do you don't know? I don't know.
Well,
It's
that's
shockingly
a little
good.
scary.
If like me, you
Maybe a
don't care
little
for the DC hero movies, maybe you've watched Wonder Woman, like, this kind of sucks. Maybe you thought Aquaman was boring and fell asleep.
Aquaman was dope as shit.
I like Wonder Woman.
Sure,
Wonder
and
Woman's-
a lot of people do.
Yeah.
I just don't.
Wonder Woman was also really good. You
I really
want
like
a
Joker.
fucking Aquaman video game? Why'd you fall asleep during that movie?
I don't want an Aquaman video game. What? When
You
did I
went
say
on the record and said, I, Matt Eads, think it would be cool if they made an Aquaman video game. And Brando and I said, fuck water levels.
Yeah.
When did I say that?
I remember this conversation.
What?
I was not with
I don't
you.
know jack shit about Aquaman. I must have been being a shitheel.
I was not with Andy until he got to the very end where he's like, and we said we hate water levels, and I was like, oh right, there was.
I know literally nothing about Aquaman.
Yeah,
I
Matt,
must
you're
have
right.
been
Matt Eads is a
talking
problem. We have to stop him.
out my ass that day.
Yeah. Anyways, that movie was very good. No, I'll watch Joker. I'll watch
Joker is-
Yeah. But still.
The Joker is not like
Shockingly
those
good.
movies.
Yeah.
Very,
Joker
very
is
different.
Joker is like Taxi Cab. Joker is like your taxi driver. Joker is a more adult take that happens to be about a
It's kind of like a cerebral
Yes.
thriller. I don't even know what kind of a
Taxi-
movie you'd call it.
taxi driver.
Robert De Niro.
Yeah.
It's just taxi.
Taxi?
I don't.
Whatever.
Not Tom Cruise. Ben Affleck.
Tom Cruise
Is
should play
the,
the Joker.
is the driver? Yeah, that'd be great. It's very short.
Fucking
It's very short.
love Tom Cruise.
Andy,
but
I'm gonna
no.
go through your news story here real fast.
Why can't I ever say my own news story?
Say your news story, buddy.
Call of Duty.
Okay.
Got an update on Xbox, and the update was 66 gigabytes, but
so
on PC, it was only 2 gigabytes.
Yep.
And when I got that text message from one Warren Barris while I was at work that said, hey, just a heads up, on a Saturday, you have a 66 gigabyte update for Call of Duty, I went, what?
My Xbox is not 66 gigabytes big.
I literally just updated it. I did a 38 gigabyte update Tuesday of this week. What the fuck else do they possibly need to put in there? There better be 100 new maps if I'm putting this big of an update on this thing.
All the fix. They had some graphic errors with the guns, I guess, and the only way to fix it on Xbox was a 66 gig update.
Yeah, because they had like a whole bunch of those files that were already on there, but they had to overwrite them in order to make the update take or something like that.
Total. The last thing you wrote on the story, total size of the game now at 99 gigs. Did that come down? Did they say? Because didn't we have a story like last week about how it's 200? It's over 200 gigs now. Maybe that's only on PC where you can't delete.
Maybe.
Maybe,
campaigns
yeah.
Yeah,
and
you're right,
things.
because I was saying it's almost halfway up to the base level Xbox.
Yeah, and like it's
Hard drive
bigger.
capacity.
It's bigger than the smallest. Bigger than a 256
Yeah.
gig SSD now.
I didn't put that in here, but this did say for Xbox, 99 on Xbox.
Oh, well, that's not.
That's still big.
That's insanely
still
big.
really big.
So fucking big for a multiplayer shooter. Control, quick story about Control. It does have a next gen
Snaps.
upgrade. Free next gen upgrade, gang. Woo! But only if you buy the new Ultimate Edition. Yeah, those
take
of us
my
who
snaps back.
those of us who own Control and played it on the Series X or
The real fans.
the base PlayStation where it ran
Yes.
like fucking shit, and you desperately need that next gen upgrade because man, is that thing borderline unplayable on those consoles. You got to buy the
This is
Ultimate Edition.
very fucked up.
This is very fucked up.
This is very fucked up for the reasons that you said, which are you did not make a good game on the console I bought it from.
Yes.
And I fucking went to war with you at Game of the Year anyway. And now you're telling me when I finally are going to get the system that can run your game, you're going to make me pay for it again?
Even just give a path. $10. $10. I'd pay 10
Sure.
for. I understand there's work done there. We sure, but like the fact where buy this new only the Ultimate Edition will get the next gen upgrade, or presumably you buy it on the next gen.
At the end of the day, I'm not going to play this game ever again
Neither
after
am
I
I.
fucking
But
do
that's
this
still
AWE
fucked.
expansion.
That's
But
still so fucked.
But
That
if
is
I'm
fucked.
going to play the game, buy it on next gen. That's what
Yeah.
you're saying.
Yeah.
Wait till the PS5.
well, I think
Or you could buy the Ultimate Edition.
They're going to put out an Ultimate Edition on current consoles,
Oh,
and they'll
that'll run
upgrade
better?
that one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And it'll have all the DLC. So that would actually be the edition. You would get the Ultimate Edition, get the free upgrade.
Right. But on my PS5.
You can buy it on
PS4.
anything.
Yeah, you can buy whatever you want right
The
now.
problem is you would need to buy it on something on a console that would be the same. So if you want it on PS5, you would need to buy it on PS4 now, which you don't have a PS4.
Right.
So.
But if you want it on the next Xbox, you could buy it on the new X. You could buy it on your X now. It's fine. If you're buying it going forward, you're fine. You're covered. You get the free upgrade. If you already own it, you do not, which is the fucked part. You have to buy the new Ultimate Edition.
What?
Give him a second to pick his job.
Well, no, I'm confused. I have a PlayStation 5. I want to play Control.
Yes,
Can I get Control on that?
Yes.
Yeah.
We're
Okay.
just saying that this is coming out before the PS5.
Right. I understand that.
Okay.
This is
But
gonna be
I'm
out in
saying
August.
I should probably just, if I'm going to play it, might as well wait for my new console.
Sure.
Okay.
Yes.
There.
Sure.
Especially, I would not say yes if you had a PS4.
Right, because if you had a PS4, you could get the Ultimate Edition, and then you'll get a free upgrade to the PS5. You'll get that PS5
You're not
version
losing
for
anything
free.
by getting the PS4 version.
Right. Okay.
But
if
you don't have
already,
a PS4.
That's right. If you already own it, fuck you.
Yes.
Fuck me. I already own it.
Yes. Fuck me as well.
Fuck the people
I
who
love that
bought
game.
Control and really like it, and yes, suffered those performance
That
issues.
game is dope.
We can
you
all go
guys are
fuck
being
ourselves.
mean, though.
Yeah.
Super mean.
Now I just get to play it as its
fuckers.
dopeness plus more.
Plus
Yes.
more.
As
Plus
in,
more.
it runs well.
It's fine. We're going to chug through that 15 frames per second AWE, and I'm going to be smiling from ear to ear.
Do you think? Surely only because the same actor plays Dr. Darling,
Okay,
Casper
we're gonna
Darling,
get into this?
a little bit plays
move
Darling,
my
the
chair
character in
back.
Control, and same actor plays Alan Wake.
Yes.
Do you think that only one of them will make it out of this because we only have one actor and we need to pick? Is he going to be Alan Wake or is he going to be Casper? Casper Darling going forward.
I don't necessarily think you need to only have one of them make it out, but I think you need to address that there is a reason that these guys sound the same.
You think that's going to be in fiction?
Yes,
Okay.
that's what I want. That's
Okay.
what I'm like. If you're gonna make this, you've made the cardinal sin or brilliant decision of creating a expanded universe that contains all your games, but you always use the same fucking actors for your games.
That's right. You open Pandora's box, motherfuckers.
Exactly. Now you write your way out of it, and if you can, fucking, I'll be there with you. But you have to try.
Yeah. I bet there's a lot of. I can see a lot of different.
There's 100 ways.
Easy.
100
I
ways.
could write a lot
I have
of those
every
easy.
Bit of, I have every bit of faith that
Let me
they
tell you
can
about
do
Dark. I've got some very good ideas.
Yeah, like I would.
Who do you?
If
hope
I was a
we-
writer,
That's not even
I
a
would
real
be
question.
chomping at the bit to explain why now we have a universe where this actor plays two different people.
Yeah, I bet they do.
Yeah.
I hope it's Darling. I don't know if there's any. I was going to
Darling-
ask who do you hope make
Yeah.
it if we only get one. Who do you hope is the character
Like,
going
can we
forward?
spoil?
Nobody
Like, I don't
cares
want to
about-
spoil the end of Control.
No,
either,
don't.
so.
But nobody gives a fuck about Alan Wake. Nobody's like, I hope Alan Wake is a rat. Alan Wake sucks. The game Alan Wake, fine. Alan Wake, the person, the
Right,
character,
yes.
fucking sucks ass in
Yes,
that
you
game.
don't like being him.
He sucks. What a nerd.
He seems abusive. They didn't get into it,
kinda
but
does.
he seems abusive.
Barry. Barry?
Yeah.
Is that his name? Or is that the show? Is Barry?
No,
Barry Wheeler.
Yeah,
Yep.
Barry's his buddy.
Yeah, Barry's a
his,
good man.
His publicist, right?
That's who we need. Yeah. Where's Christmas lights? And my last story this week.
Stay in the light. It's such a good idea.
Stay in the light. My last story this week. Amazon leaked Amazon UK leaked Skyward Sword for the Switch. Nintendo hasn't announced it, but if you want to go pre-order that on Amazon, you sure can.
What?
Yep. Amazon leaked Skyward Sword for the Switch, and it seems like maybe there will be a Skyward Sword remaster / port for the Switch.
Who wants this? Skyward Sword was bad.
It was pretty bad, but
The worst?
I submit
Maybe
to
the
you.
worst.
Okay,
there's some really old ones
Yeah,
that
no,
I don't
maybe
really
the
know.
worst.
Yeah,
but
some really older ones. But like
definitely the
in
worst recent one.
in terms of like that main timeline of like Zelda games. Yeah, that's definitely.
I was going to say
one.
maybe Twilight Princess was fine though.
I like Twilight
Unoffensive.
Princess.
Twilight Princess was the first Zelda game I ever
Solid.
played, and one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I raised my eyebrows and said the first Zelda game you ever played was Twilight Princess.
yeah.
Wow.
Well, I wasn't allowed to play the other ones as a kid because they were too violent.
Had a sword.
Understandable.
Twilight Princess to me felt like that updated version of Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
Like it was never better than Ocarina of Time. Like it's a better game because it's a newer game, but when you take them both at their time, Ocarina of Time is obviously way better.
Yeah.
But it always felt like that, like the next graphical step that Ocarina of Time should be taking, and I really enjoyed it.
I think I remember. Did they have a ball and chain in the ice temple?
Oh,
like
yeah.
a
You
steel.
fucking whip it around. Yeah,
that was
Yeah.
fun.
Dumb
What a
dudes.
great item. You're like just fucking like
carrying it around.
Oh, yeah,
Totally
it's too
had it,
heavy.
yeah.
Yeah.
You
until
can put it in your pocket.
I was gonna say until you stuck it in your pocket and it was all fine. Yeah.
Yeah, the Skyward Sword remaster might become maybe like Wind Waker. They'll do like a quality of life pass, change up. Maybe that tutorial doesn't need to be 10 hours long.
And there was a lot of controller issues that I had with that game that you
Hopefully
can't
you-
even do with the current control scheme. So
Well, that's a big part. Is hopefully you can play without movement controls. Hopefully it's just a standard.
I turned the motion controls off fucking hour 1 in Paper Mario.
Oh, I didn't have a problem with those. I did those.
I didn't even have a problem with them. I just never want to do motion control more than use the sticks. I'm laying in bed, and as soon as they're like, pick up the Switch to move your hands up, I'm like, I'm going into the.
Well, you're playing on the handhelds too, right? So
yeah, but you can do it.
I really liked when you have like the 10,000 arm fold, and you had to like make your hands into a fist and like slam stuff, and you like take the controllers and like. Love that part. Fun. Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
That seems kind of fun, but I never got to that move because I was like, no, this seems bad.
No, I really like doing that with the motion controls. I will say about Skyward Sword, I played it and I beat it, and at the time, I enjoyed it. But that's just, you're looking at me like I am the biggest idiot ever.
No. It's a look of admiration.
Yeah. I never came out of that game and thought this was an incredible Zelda game, but I came out of it and I was like, oh, that was fun. And then when I heard everybody else bitching and complaining about it, I was like, what? Like, what? Like, I didn't think it was that bad. But.
So I don't think I beat that game, but I got like 15 hours in or something, which is just past that tutorial. And it was like I shouldn't say they're not Zelda games like Mario games are usually, when I say it's a bad Zelda game, it's still better than a lot of the stuff around. But I was very much like, man, compared to every other Zelda game I play, I don't want to play this at all. Yeah. And I finally got out of this stupid tutorial, and I don't want to keep playing.
Yeah. It's not very good.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. I really like that world. I
thought
probably
the only game you had.
No, I remember going, it was friggin' EB Games. I remember when they had that cardboard cutout, and I was like, fuck yeah, I pre-ordered that game. I put down $10 on the desk, and I said, pre-order this bitch for me. I cannot wait to play this. I got something. I can't remember what I got, but I got something for pre-ordering it. I was jacked, and yeah, I really liked
it. Yeah, is what you got.
If I wouldn't have enjoyed it, then yes, but I enjoyed my experience. So, will I play it again on the Switch? Yeah, probably not. Unless people are like, "Wow, they really improved this game on the Switch." Then maybe I'll jump in.
They have to. It's not just like if they improve Wind Waker, which is like everybody loves Wind Waker, the perfect Zelda game, and
there's a lot of people that did not love Wind Waker.
They even found a way to go in and improve that. I kind of
that
love
Wind Waker remake is fucking wonderful.
Yeah,
like they made all the right calls on the quality of life stuff.
They should do the same thing. A lot of people, myself included, would probably really enjoy Skyward Sword if it wasn't wrapped in so much bullshit.
So, shitting on Skyward Sword aside,
I guess
I don't know why that was like who was just sitting in the room being like, the people need Skyward Sword. Like, me and Warren and I think you had a long you being Andy had a long conversation about would they remake Ocarina of Time and like fucking ground up, like just fucking.
They did for the 3DS.
It was better.
Yeah,
for sure,
it wasn't ground up, but it was like tweaked. It was like Majora's Mask.
Like an HD remake.
Graphically was the main thing, but the game still played the same.
Yeah, where it's like.
The Water Temple was changed. Like they quality of lifed it. Water Temple was changed, and a few.
Yeah, the way you interacted with some
water
and lower the water from anywhere instead of just those 3 locations.
Yeah, they quality of lifed it.
They did some stuff. Water Temple wasn't that bad.
It's not that bad.
While I'm giving takes.
When you've gone through it as a child, it's not that bad. As an adult,
yes,
it's still. I play.
Just remember to bomb that one wall.
Everyone forgets to bomb that one wall. I played Ocarina of Time like in the last probably calendar year, and I will say the Water Temple gave me a fucking shitload of trouble.
Oh yeah,
because I'm like, fuck, I'm stuck on the bottom and the water's down. I don't know how to get the Water Temple does suck, but it's not.
You're always one key short.
You got to jump.
No matter what order.
There's always for me, it's you get a chest and then there's a drop behind the chest for the first and only time in the game. You have to go behind the chest and there's a hole through the floor. You're like, fucking what? All right, here we go.
There's one in the back wall in a chest room too. That's the one I always miss.
Fucking temple.
Anyway, the point is like, there's games with like huge nostalgia value that. I'm not saying they should remake those. They're the business people, and they probably have the fucking numbers and the graphs.
Is why Skyward Sword.
But it just like when Skyward Sword was the game, I was just like, that. If you ask a lot of people, what's the only bad Zelda?
Probably say
some of them might say Skyward Sword.
Did they do a Twilight Princess HD? I think they did, right?
Oh yeah, that was on.
So this would be like the next. This is just the next one chronologically. I think because they've done.
Sorry, go ahead.
They've done Ocarina, Majora's Mask. Wind Waker.
Did they do Majora's Mask?
Yep.
The Majora's Mask.
I was playing it.
Yeah, the 3DS remaster Majora's Mask is really like they did a huge. That whole quest log is completely different. Anyway. Yeah. Well, the 3DS remake makes it so you can actually track those quests, and it's like, no, go here on this day, and you can actually figure out how to do that shit.
And he still couldn't fucking get past.
I hate that game.
But I think it's the next one chronologically. It would just be the next one in line. Would be.
I actually didn't know that they had redone Twilight Princess.
Yep. I didn't get it. I wanted to, but I never did it.
What was that for?
Wii U.
Yeah.
Same with Twilight Princess, Wind Waker. They were both on the Wii U.
Yeah.
Fuck, you're right. Like, it might be the only one they haven't done this for in a mainstream game. So
Skyward Sword, it's a disappointment because it played so badly. Because I think that the whole story behind it is really cool. That, if you look at the Zelda timeline, I think is the first Link in the Zelda timeline.
I don't care about
Minish Cap.
But it's very early, and the whole concept of
I just dropped a Minish Cap on you, and you couldn't counter defense it.
No, it's a cool
like
game. The story behind that game is really cool. Like the whole idea of
boring,
we can't go on the ground because the ground is so fucked up. We built this city in the sky and all this. Like
on rock and roll.
Like the whole concept of the game is really cool, and I think that if they do make it so it flows a lot better than that first version of it did,
and he's
I think it's really worth
flowing
playing.
his hips and hands as he says flows.
He totally was.
Yeah, I the story behind it's really cool, and it was unique. Like it was something outside the box of those other Zelda games, kind of like Majora's Mask was. Right,
Your guide was a sword. That was kind of neat.
Yeah, like it had some really cool concepts,
talk, didn't it?
Sword talk.
It was just
sometimes it was like a fucking like a fairy thing.
Looking,
yeah. It was just plagued by a long tutorial and just some quality of life stuff that made it really difficult. Like
I will agree with you that if that tutorial wasn't so long, and maybe you don't even have to shorten it if you take the motion controls like the hack up and down or hack side to side, maybe all you have to do is pull that out of there, and all of a sudden I'm like, 10 hours is fine.
Yeah.
Oh, we got it.
Yeah. It's just that's when they added the Wii Motion Plus, right? So they fucking
had to have
this was their game to drive that, and it was the wrong call because that wasn't that great. And you picked your biggest franchise and a big game to try to push that forward. It sucked, and it just all fell apart because of that.
You know what's kind of wild is tangential. The new TV I got, the remote has a like motion mode where you just use like a wand and it moves a cursor on the screen.
Right.
That motion control works.
That's the OLED?
Yeah.
Okay.
That motion control works so fucking good in a way that like using it is so seamless. Like it gets off the screen and you recalibrate it by just moving it. So if it's too far this way, it gets to the edge of the screen.
Yeah.
Right. You just keep moving it and then you just move it back when you're ready for it to
It's
go.
like, okay, I'm here.
It's like so intuitive and seems perfect motion control in a way that like for me it's that promise of what the Wii always was. I'm like, well, look at where we've come now. It's a fucking TV remote and this is all this fucking thing can do.
It feels like the Wii never got there before they're like, let's just abandon this thing.
We give up.
Yeah.
And now motion control. It seems kind of amazing when I'm using something like this. Works like this is faster than me like using the clicker part.
We got there, but I just didn't get there through video games the way I thought we would.
Yeah.
Podcast.
Someone's got to start.
Podcast. TalkingRucks.com is an email address. If you have thoughts, you can write them in here to the show or drop them on our Discord. Head on over to TalkingRucks.com is where you find a link to that. We got no emails. We got no problems. We solved every single quandary. Is cereal soup? We said yes, and you agreed. We've solved it all.
I was clearly not there for
it's,
that.
well, that's, the ombudsman, we got it notarized, and it's all official.
Sounds like you pushed this through the courts rather fast while I wasn't looking.
That's how you got to do these things sometimes. Yes, head on over to TalkingRucks.com and join our Discord. We have a Patreon over patreon.com/TalkingRucks-podcast. You want to support the show, all the stuff we do, the D&D podcast, the anime podcast, Super Saiyan, the world's premiere anime podcast. Head over to patreon.com/TalkingRucks-podcast to do all that. That's all I got to say here today.
Your delivery on that was fantastic. The
You seem
world's
confident.
premiere anime podcast.
It's very good.
My good man, milady.
Like, you can't drop a little lady.
Andy, thank you very much. Thank you very much, milady.
May I just quickly say, go to the Patreon and join my bots in downvoting the playthrough of Shenmue.
Yeah, we're going to have some goals. So the news coming soon. We're going to have some goals. And the very bottom tier is going to be, that was a good one.
Jesus.
Let's see if we get the other one. You ready?
Yeah. Is it? Can we? I don't want to. I like bone cracking.
Okay,
I like
we're
bone
gonna get
cracking.
into this
We
now?
don't have to. That's just all.
That's going to be me before I punch the TV while I'm playing Shenmue.
That gave me the tingles. That was. I would like
That was
to.
good.
Andy, I'd like to pay you to crack your knuckles next to this microphone. We'll talk
I don't want to
later.
play Shenmue with Eads Brando. I don't want to do it anymore. Don't let me
those
be
fucking bots get to work.
Yeah, we'll have some goals come soon. More announcement on the Patreon stuff soon, but the very bottom tier it seems more and more going to be Andy and I. Andy. playing Shenmue. Feet. Matthew, I will be in the room. I'll make sure. I'll make sure everything's fine.
Standing in the kitchen making nuggets. Eats. What do I do here?
Yeah.
Oh, I just gotta go grab the forklift.
Stand there until 7 p.m.
Try
and then
the
you can go in
forklift
the store.
again. Patreon.com/TalkingReckless for all of that. One more time, so you can actually understand it. Patreon.com/TalkingRecklessPodcast for all of that. Andy Captain, thank you very much for being here.
Thanks, Eats.
Brandon Lynch, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for not committing me to anything yet.
You at home, thank you very much for listening, for all the support and everything over on the Patreon, keeping us on the air. We'll see you here next week. D&D will be on, I think, Sunday. We weren't on this week, but we should be back next week. I don't know if it's afternoon or evening or what. Find it on the Discord. But yes, come to us for Rolling Reckless on Sunday. And we'll see you on the next episode of the Talking Reckless podcast. We'll see you then.